Midway through the spring training march, and the work starts early each morning in Clearwater. Prepping the fields, fine-tuning outfield play with the season approaching. And most importantly, a delicious breakfast. Plus an up-close visit with Phillies players for some of the team's biggest fans. All in a busy morning before the game at Bright House Field. Well, yesterday's sea of green has changed back to a more traditional red, but that doesn't mean the fans in Clearwater aren't fired up for some baseball. They're lining up and ready to watch the Phillies and Pirates at Bright House Field. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Phillies Baseball alongside Matt Stairs. I'm Greg Murphy in for Tom McCarthy today. And, well, Matt, about halfway through the spring season and position battles are starting to shape up. Jobs are being won, and that includes the rotation. And the Phils, well, they're going to rely on a former Pirate to be part of their mix this year. Yeah,
Charlie Morton's coming into the spring training healthy. That's the key for him right now. He's going in. What I really liked so far is his velocity, the way he's attacking hitters, especially the left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters. Charlie Morton's best pitch is a fastball inside the left-handers. He ties it up. There's no secret. He said he wants to pitch up and into lefties, down and away to right-handers. But throwing that fastball up and into left-handers opens up the plate so well for like a changeup right there you just saw. Tremendous changeup. Now, numbers over his years, I would love to see the 157 starts. I'd like to see another add a 32 or 31 to that. But for the key for him this year is to work on his cutter. You know, Bob McClure said he absolutely loves his cutter. He thinks if he throws his cutter inside the left-handers, it opens up the outside even more, especially when you throw that fastball and the cutter inside.
And when Charlie Morton is being successful, he's getting the ball hit on the ground, and his infield defense is doing their job. However, if the ball does get hit in the air, the Phils this year feel very confident about their outfield defense, and one of the big reasons is the emergence of Odubel Herrera a year ago. He continues to be a big part of what the Phillies are looking for this season.
Well, he's a big part, and the reason why is that you can see right here at 8:39 this morning, he is out working on things. The biggest thing that Odubel needs to work on is going and running to where the ball is going to land instead of running and coasting with the ball. A lot of outfielders, they decide to run with the ball, which means you coast. You end up making a tremendous play. Here, what they're trying to get him right here is, now you see his head is looking to where the ball is going to land. That's a high fly ball, knowing you get to the area where the ball is coming down, now you make an easy play. A line drive, you watch the ball a little longer. You can take your eyes off a little bit. But it's a high fly ball, so when you get underneath it, you can camp underneath it. Makes your job a lot easier. Your head's not bouncing as the ball's coming at you in the outfield. Yeah. You know, Juan Samuel has done a great job of communicating, getting him going left and right, going over his left shoulder, picking the ball up early, and that's the reason why he's having success, because he's working his tail off every day.
Yeah, getting him to run to a spot, and we've seen Odubel run, and when he runs, he gets to that spot very, very quickly. Well, we'll keep our eyes on that today. Today's pitchers, well, we talked about Charlie Morton. He'll make his second start for the Phils on the big field, opposing Kyle Lobstein for the Pirates. He is 3-8 a year ago with 11 starts for the Buccos. Who else is in the lineup today? Well, this guy, Ryan Howard, back in the lineup after getting his first spring home run of the season yesterday. Lineups and first pitch when we come back. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank. One deposit checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Toyota. Toyota's hybrid fleet is nothing short of a home run. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. By Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. And we welcome you back to Bright House Field. The Pirates and the Phils getting set for some Grapefruit League action. And fans on the berm all set up and ready to go on their towels. And another great crowd here in Clearwater, as it always is. And another great afternoon as well. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. And here's how the Pirates are lining up today. Gregory Polanco will lead off, play right field. Francisco Cervelli will catch and bat second, followed by Freese, Joyce, and Rogers. Jake Gobert will play first base and bat sixth. Cole Figueroa, Danny Ortiz, and Pedro Formanon will round out the Pirates lineup. And they will face, for the Phillies, Charlie Morton, making just his second start here on the big field for the spring season for the Phils. Of course, the former Pirate, 3.86 ERA in his first outing. And Matt, well, the Phils are expecting obviously big things from this guy. He will be a part of their rotation more than likely.
Well, he'll be a big part of the rotation. He needs to stay healthy. And the big thing with Charlie Morton is his fastball. You can see his fastball is very good at 90-96. And he uses his four-seam fastball a little over 17% of the time, and he uses a sinker about 48% of the time, which means he doesn't use his changeup, he doesn't use the slider a whole lot, and his curveball. So I'd like to see him mix in more changeups, because the changeup is very, very good, but it needs to be, because it's always down the zone, and it has that sinking motion like a very good two-seam fastball.
And like we talked about it, you know when Charlie Morton is going well, when he gets a lot of ground balls. That's he gets in trouble if he gets it up in the zone, as a lot of guys do in the big leagues. But if he's getting a lot of ground balls, he starts to get into that rhythm, get that confidence level up, and you know things are going well for him. Well, the first to face him will be Gregory Polanco, stepping in for the Pirates, the right fielder for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and a good one. 261. So far this season. No power numbers to speak of yet for Polanco, but that'll change, I'm sure, at some point. And the first pitch of the afternoon for Morton is a little bit low and outside for a ball. It's 1-0.
It's going to be interesting to see how Morton attacks the left-handed hitters today. If he wants to stay with that game plan of throwing the fastball up and in for strikes, which is the hardest ball for a left-hander to hit.
Polanco grounds that one in front of the Pirates dugout. 1-1. Umpires for today's game. You see around the home plate is DJ Rayburn, followed by Bob Davidson over there at first. Phil Cuzzy has the second base bag, and Vic Carapaz's over there at third. 1-1 pitch from Morton. Ground ball to the right side. Going to his left as Hernandez spins and fires. A nice play by Cesar Hernandez over to Ryan Howard. That's the first out of the inning. Getting a chance to see what is probably going to be the starting infield for the Phils.
Hernandez showing some good range to his left, getting up and making a strong throw. But like you mentioned, Murph, when Morton's going well, he gets a lot of ground balls, which infielders absolutely love.
Keep them on their toes, keep them involved in the action. Well, I'll bring up Francisco Cervelli. 295 a year ago with 7 home runs, batting .235 for the spring. First pitch is outside for a ball. It's 1-0.
Scoreboard had 101.
That may be wrong. That'll be intimidating, though. That pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. It's 1-1. Not sure he's humping it up there at 101.
No, but 95 with movement, just as good.
That'll work. That one's outside for a ball. It's 2-1 now to Cervelli. Not a whole lot of regulars here for the Pirates. Cervelli is one of them. He'll probably be their starting catcher going forward. Polanco will start in their outfield. Fouls that one off the plate. Well, the weather today, partly cloudy. Nice breeze coming out, going out to left center field.
Great day to hit.
It is a good day to hit for the right-handers and for the left-handers, I guess.
Just swing late.
Why not? Just swing late.
A little late.
Yeah, just swing late. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside for a ball. It's 3-2. Yeah, the sun was starting to peek through earlier, and now the cloud cover has returned. Not that we're complaining. 3-2 pitch. Foul. Do it again.
Great movement on this fastball, 3-2, two-seam fastball. Starts at the bottom of the zone and absolutely just darts out of the zone.
There's Clint Hurdle, his 6th season with the Pirates. He's one of the real good ones in the National League for sure.
Nice pitch.
And, well, not nice enough, says DJ Rayburn, as Saravelli will head on down to first base. It's the first walk. Obviously, Charlie Morton wanted that pitch. Cameron Rupp got to have his stance to fire it down to third. He thought that pitch was so good. I guess Rayburn saying that was a little low. So that's the first base runner of the afternoon. That'll bring up David Freese. David Freese, of course, spent time with the Cards and the Angels. 121 games with the Angels last year. Batted .257, 14 home runs, 56 RBIs. Postseason hero in St. Louis. New team, the Pirates.
Everyone talks about Clint Hurdle being a great manager. Tremendous hitting coach as well. Knows his stuff when it comes to talking about technique of hitting.
That one's over for a strike. It's 1-1. Well, we know what he's done with this Pirates team. 2 straight years in the postseason.
He was a great outfielder. He was a top prospect back in the day with the Mets, if I'm correct.
And it's outside for a ball. 2-1 now. 41st season in pro baseball for Clint Hurdle. Saravalli has his leadoff first. And that pitch sails outside, so that's 3-1 now to David Freese. Morton nibbling a little bit early on, just missing on the outside.
Yeah, which is tough when it comes with the baseball moves as much as it does from Charlie Morton's hand.
And Bob Davidson down there first gets the appeal. He says, yeah, he went around. David Freese, I don't think agreed with that.
You know,
the understated Bob Davidson.
Yeah, there's certain umpires, you know, when you do a check swing right here, and no, he did not go. But there's certain umpires, you know, it's spring training, they're going to call, and Bob Davidson is one guy who will call a check swing every time.
Well, that'll make the count full. It's 3-2 now to David Freese. Matt Joyce, the left fielder, is waiting on deck. Runners off from first, ground ball, shortstop. It's been the only one play across the diamond for Freddie Galvis. He hesitated, but gets it over there in time. That was double pumped, but beat Freese by a step, and that's the second out of the inning. So that'll bring up Matt Joyce.
Good hustle down the line. You see a very close play at first base.
You could see that Freddie Galvis kind of chastised himself after he threw that ball, after the out was recorded. Kind of said to himself, you got to get rid of that ball. He double pumped. So with 2 outs, Matt Joyce will step in. Another former Angel on the Pirates roster. Runner at second. First pitch is inside for a ball.
It's the first off-speed pitch we've seen. 17 pitches, 16 fastballs. That's a 90-mile-an-hour cutter. That's the pitch that Bob McClure absolutely loves.
That one misses as well. It's 2-0 to Joyce. So a little bit of command issues early for Morton. He's pitched a little bit on the backfield. We haven't seen a whole lot of Morton so far here in the ballpark. And that one's inside for a ball, so it's 3-0 now to Joyce. Jason Rogers, the third baseman, is standing in the on-deck circle. 11 balls, 8 strikes right now for Charlie Morton. That one's over the outside corner for a strike. It's 3-1.
But if you notice, he's missing. He's missing down in the zone or just off the corners down in the zone, which is great. If he was missing up and away and hitting the backstop, that's a different story.
It's grounded foul, so now the count is...
Oh, nice try.
Just trap it. Count is full now. To Joyce. Got to be honest, I didn't think that was going to end well. Down there in the right field corner. And Morton has battled back with 2 outs. The count is full to Matt Joyce. Cervelli leads off second. The 3-2 pitch, line drive center field. Peter Borges going back on it, and that's going to be over his head and off the top of the wall. Cervelli will score, and Joyce will cruise into second with a stand-up double. And he's looking for his pitch. 3-2, he got it. He drilled it into the gap in left center field.
That's a 2-seamer up in the zone. Very nice swing. 2-seamers up in the zone become a little flat, go right towards the barrel. Peter Borges does a nice job of playing that off the wall.
So Morton will go to work on Jason Rogers. Try to get out of this inning without any further damage. Cameron Rupp went out and had a conversation with Charlie Morton. Joyce leads off second. First pitch is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. There you see the numbers for Rogers this spring training. 1-0 pitch. That one's lofted in the left field. Coming in on it is Goodell, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So, no more damage in the inning, but Charlie Morton struggles a little bit with control. The Bucks are able to put a 1 run on. We head to the bottom of the 1st. So for the 2nd straight day, Pete Buchanan watches his team give up an early run in the top of the 1st. Hope they can battle back. They'll do so with this lineup. The starting lineup is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Leading off with playing shortstop is Freddie Galvis, followed by the second baseman, Cesar Hernandez. Raquel Franco will bat third and play third base, followed by Ryan Howard, Cameron Rupp, and Cedric Hunter in right field. In the bottom 3 of Peter Borges, Tyler Goodell, and Charlie Morton. For the first time, have a pitcher bat for the Phils in this spring training. So Freddie Galvis will lead it off. 263 a year ago, 7 home runs, 50 RBIs, and of course, they'll face Kyle Lobstein. Record of 1-0 so far in this spring. The ERA of 0.00. That's what they like to see.
Well, it is. And Kyle Lobstein is a 4-pitch pitcher, mainly fastball, curveball, low 90s fastball. He has a very good curveball, which is between 78 and 80 miles an hour.
First pitch to Freddie Galvis, sailed upstairs, so it's 1-0. Now this check swing, but Rayburn says he went around, so it's 1-1 now to Freddie Galvis. Off to a bit of a slow start this spring through 11 games. 1-1 pitch, ground ball, third base. Up with it and across the diamond. That's 1 out here in the bottom of the 1st.
So that'll bring up Cesar Hernandez. He is not off to a slow start this spring. He's played very well so far offensively, which is certainly good to see. Batting .353 on the spring season, 5 RBIs. He steps in against Lopestein. First pitch is over for a strike. It's 0-1.
Kind of shocked that Cesar didn't swing at the first pitch fastball.
He does like to jump on those sometimes.
Heater right down the middle.
Outside for a ball. It's 1-1.
Georgie, look where the first baseman playing.
Breaking ball is over for a strike. It's 1-2 now to Cesar Hernandez. Hernandez, of course, last season, .272. Just 1 home run, 35 RBIs. Grounds that one past Juan Samuel in the third base coach's box. The count remains 1-2.
It's amazing how far the first baseman is playing off the line. You see him over here. Great time. Not right now with 2 bunts, but if it happens again, push bunt. There's no way he's going to beat you to first base.
And it's fouled straight back. Yeah, that is a significant shift. He's going to have a hard time getting back over to the bag to cover first on a ground ball, you'd think.
Well, and listen, I've played that far over before, and you're out in no man's land, and what happens is all of a sudden your momentum, you put all your weight on your left foot because you want to make sure you get to first base and cover first base. So it's really a bad setup.
He pops him up in right field. Polanco waits for it. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Is that something that you would have liked Hernandez? Obviously, you would have liked to see him recognize that a little bit earlier, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, it's spring training. I know you want to go out and you want to get your hits and stuff, but whatever you work on in spring training, you're going to carry it over to the season. And why not work on push bunting if you're a guy that can run?
And if I'm not mistaken, that's exactly what Pete McCannon just said to him. He kind of gave the motion of a push bunt. So Pete McCannon right on top of that as Maikel Franco steps in, takes the first pitch over for a strike. Well, when it comes to hitting, this guy's been doing a lot of it. .333, 6 home runs down here in Florida so far. He lines that one to center field, but right at Danny Ortiz, who makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Hit it on the nose to Maikel Franco, but nothing to show for it. So we are through 1 inning of play here in Clearwater, and the Pirates lead by 1. Well, do you know what Monday, April 11th is, Matt? It is Nemours opening day. Free to all fans when you come into the ballpark that day. A Phillies commemorative opening day cap. It's Monday, April 11th at 3:05. The Padres are in town. And you can get your tickets at Phillies.com. will not be long now. Fans are filing into Citizens Bank Park, just like they do here at Bright House Field. Jake Gobert steps in, faces Charlie Morton here in the top of the second. Second pitch. Gobert is on the outside corner for a strike. It's 1-1.
Be a long day hitting if you get that strike every time.
I like how you look at it from that perspective.
Nice cutter.
It's a bit high for a ball. It's 2-1. You were saying in the break that, you know, although Morton struggled a little bit with his control in the first inning, which is, I guess, understandable at this point, you like what you like what you see.
A lot. I really do. I mean, he's got great movement, minus the command of the strike zone, yes. But any guy that throws 94, 95, that hard with that type of movement and only miss him by a few inches off the plate, you know, he's probably fired up.
He misses on the outside of the plate there, and that's the second walk of the afternoon for the Pirates.
Again, when you have, and I'm not an expert in catching, but I know if a guy, his baseball is moving that much, set up in the middle of the plate and allow him to throw to his shin guard, left or right, with his cutter or his two-seamer.
He'll work from the stretch now. Cole Figueroa steps in, the shortstop, and the first pitch to him is over for a strike. It's 0-1. This is one of those ground balls will come in handy for Charlie Morton. Throw over, chases the runner back. Gilbert takes his lead off first. The 0-1 pitch. Over for a strike. It's 0-2.
That's why I like what I've seen so far, the movement on his fastball.
Not something you can really teach, I guess. It's kind of a natural thing. 0-2 pitch. That was foul.
You follow, the pitch prior to that was a 93-mile-an-hour front door sinker. It freezes a left-handed hitter. Now all of a sudden he comes back with the 89, 90-mile-an-hour cutter inside. Now as a left-hander hitter, you start thinking, okay, now I got to cheat to get into the ball inside. It opens up outside or a back foot slider.
Ground ball. Cutting it off is Franco. Third base, throws it over to Howard to get the runner at first. Gilbert will move up to second base. Franco's only play had to cut in front of Freddie Galvis to make that play. That's the first out of the inning here in the top of the second.
And that's the first curveball we've seen today. And Charlie Morton's been a fastball, a sinker cutter guy today. Nice time to mix in a 1-2 curveball.
Well, to bring up Danny Ortiz. Center field today for Clint Hurdle on the Pirates. There's a fourth-round pick back in 2008 by the Twins. This kid can fly, they say. So he hits the ball on the ground. Look out. Runner leads off second. First pitch is a little bit low for a ball. It's 1-0. Inside for a ball, 2-0 to Danny Ortiz.
People are probably thinking I'm crazy for liking what I see so far. But I do. He's not missing by much.
2-0 pitch, line drive. That's going to fall for a base hit in front of Peter Borges. Plays it on a couple of hops. The run's going to score. And that's 2-0 Pirates here in the second. An RBI single for Danny Ortiz. So that'll bring up Pedro Florimon, and this ball was hit hard.
Well, it was, and you get 2-0, and you have to throw a strike. Unfortunately, it's a sinker up in the zone, which we call a stinker. Stays flat, and it gets hit hard. You know, that's what happened with when Joyce hit the double off the wall. You know, you're looking at, what, 8 hitters so far? Mm-hmm. One time he's been ahead on first pitch strike. So for him, it has to. I mean, a lot of guys you talk about, they have to go throw first pitch strikes, but for a sinker baller, you need to get ahead early. Because now all of a sudden you get 2-0, you got to lay in there a flat sinker, and that's what happens. It gets hit hard. But I still like what I see, Murph.
I like to hear it.
Going.
Ortiz was off and running as that one is belted into the right center field. Oh, that one's over the wall. That's gone. I thought that was going to hit off the top of the wall, but nope. Florimon got all of that one. A 2-run shot, and it's 4-0 Pirates in the second. Ortiz was off and running. He slipped in the base path, and then didn't matter because Florimon got all of that one.
He got all that one. It's going to be interesting to see where the pitch is height-wise. And it's a little above the knees. Out off the plate. Got extended and drove it to right center.
Hunter took off after that one. I thought he had a chance to catch it, but it's a couple rows back up the berm. So they'll bring up the top of the order. Gregory Polanco grounded out to second in his first at bat. Sails inside for a ball. It's 1-0.
So is it safe to say I like what I see? I don't like the result?
Well, I think that's
safe to say.
Probably
right? That's
fair
fine.
at this point. Yeah. One-0 pitch on the inside corner for a strike. It's 1-1. So if you're Charlie Morton right now, you know, what are you saying to yourself? I mean, it's not all about results down here in spring training. He may be working on a couple of things, but you know, I think he's probably hoping he could go 3 or 4 innings in this one.
Well, I mean, Charlie Morton's probably thinking, okay, I'm 1 out in the top of the second. Let's start getting ahead on some hitters. You know, I've been throwing a lot of two-seam fastballs, a lot of cutters. I've been missing off the plate. Now it's time to start mixing in maybe some curveballs and some sliders, which you saw just a very good curveball there a second ago.
He's ahead of Polanco, and that one sails inside, so it's 2-2 now to Gregory Polanco. In the windup, 2-2 pitch. I'm going to miss, and he got him. So a strikeout for Charlie Morton there. Comes at a good time. Second out of the inning here in the top of the second. And that'll bring up Francisco Cervelli.
It's a good pitch right here. Sometimes when your sinker's not being able to get over the plate or get swing and messes at it, got to go back to the old reliable with the curveball. He has a very good curveball. Doesn't throw it a whole lot. He throws about 4% of the time in the game. Again, as a hitter, you step in and see a guy that throws about 89% of the time throws fastballs, either sinkers or four-seamers. You eliminate the curveball. You take away the slider. You take away the cutter. Now you're sitting on a hard fastball, something hard in the zone. Now starting to flip that curveball in when you can is important right now.
It's 0-1 now to Cervelli. Swings through that one, so 0-2 to the Pirates catcher. David Freese waits on deck for the Pirates. 2 outs, top of the second. Pirates up 4-0 in this one. The 0-2 pitch, grounded to shortstop. On the hop, Freddie Galvis, strong throw across the diamond to Ryan Howard for the third out of the inning. So 6-3 goes to put out, but the damage was done off the bat of Pedro Florimon. Right center field, over the wall. The Pirates with a 4-0 lead. Well, tonight, Michael Barkan has a lot to talk about. Get all the latest on the 3 local teams in the NCAA tournament, plus a live report from John Clark in Brooklyn with Temple and Villanova. Philly Sports Talk presented by Comcast Business, tonight at 5 on Comcast Sportsnet. Indeed, a lot to talk about, in addition to some baseball action, the basketball going on as well. Villanova at halftime right now, the number 2 seed, 40-26 over UNC Asheville, so they've got a comfortable lead. Sure, he's checking the scores right now. Brian Howard will step in to lead off the bottom of the second inning for the Phillies. And his first pitch swing, and he hits it high and deep to center field, but going back on it and making the catch is Danny Ortiz. Yesterday, Ryan Howard, well, finally got on the board down here in the spring with his first home run, and it was a line shot over the left field wall.
Yeah, it comes on an 0-2 fastball down and in. His first at bat, he hit a double to right field. Nice swing. You know, key was back-to-back knocks yesterday off a left-hander, and then today just missing it in a home run to center field off a left-hander. So it's nice to see that he's staying in there with his front shoulder, waiting on the ball and driving it, and using his hands going through the zone.
Cameron Rupp steps in, takes that first pitch outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Yeah, he just missed that one. Sky high. One pitch to Rupp. He is outside for a ball. It's 2-0. Cameron, 438 so far in the spring. He has 2 home runs. Both came in the same game, 4 RBIs. 2-0 pitch off the plate. Fielded by the catcher, Saravelli, and goes down to first for the out. 2-3 goes to put out. And that's the second out here in the second inning for the Phillies. Going to bring up Cedric Hunter.
You know, really, I don't think there's a worse feeling as a hitter. You get to a 2-0 count, you take a big old hack, and you go 6 feet. Next thing you know, you ground up to the catcher, 2-3.
I'm sure Cam will think about that for a minute or two. First pitch to Cedric Hunter's over for a strike. It's 0-1.
It's either that swing or a 3-1 swing straight up, a home run up an elevator shaft. Straight up in the air right to the catcher.
I know you hate that one.
If I hate it, why'd I do it so many times then?
It's a difficult game, Matt Stairs. Epstein, 1-1 pitch. The Hunter turns on it down the right field line, and that one, it's off the wall. Hunter's going to round first, and he's thinking 3. Comes the relay throw into third, and it is offline, and that is a triple for Cedric Hunter. Polanco had a little bit of trouble picking that one up in right field, and never hesitating with Cedric Hunter, rounding second. Gets into third with a triple. 2-out triple here in the bottom of the second.
It was an off-speed pitch that caught too much to the plate. Got lodged a little bit underneath the wall right there. But the key was Hunter came out of that batter's box saying, okay, I have a double for sure. Picks up one somewhere at third base. Realizing you can get to third base. Very nice. Good hustle. Nice swing. I love seeing the line drives. And I'd like to see the approach the left-handers have had so far versus a left-handed pitcher.
Well, that'll bring up Peter Borges, Phil's center fielder, batting .333 this spring. He's got a chance to put the Phils on the board with a base hit. First pitch to Borges is outside and low for a ball. It's 1-0. Hunter takes his lead off third. It's inside for a ball, 2-0. Borges was in the leadoff slot yesterday. We've seen him in the leadoff slot a couple of times this spring. Good hack, 2-1. Pete McCann getting a look at him down in the 7th spot today. It's still very much a question mark where some of these guys will bat on a daily basis in the lineup. in the dirt. It's 3-1 now to Peter Borges.
And I think that, Murph, that's going to be a question all year is who's going to lead off today. You know, is Michael Franco going to hit third? Is he going to hit fourth? You know he's going to be in the middle of the lineup. When Ryan Howard or Darren Ruff are playing, you know they're going to be in the middle of the lineup. The key is the 1-2 guys. You know Herrera's either going to be first or second. The key is the 1-2 guys need to get on base.
Yeah. 3-1 pitch, line drive, center field. Danny Ortiz is there, though, and makes the catch. So Borges again hit it on the nose, but Danny Ortiz right there to make the catch for the third out. So they leave one over at third base to the Phils, and we're through 2 innings. They trail by 4. Sunday, April 17th, a perfect day for a celebration. Citizens Bank Fanatic birthday. All fans 14 and under will get the Fanatic Flare Hat Visor, free to kids. Nationals are in town April 15th through the 17th, so come out on that Sunday at 1:35 and celebrate the Fanatic's birthday with him and with all the Phillies fans. You can get your tickets at Phillies.com. There is the Fanatic. A little pregame shenanigans. He gets the crowd going early here, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Charlie Morton is back out on the hill for the Phils, facing David Freese. First pitch to Freese is over for a strike. Freese grounded out on a nice play by Freddie Galvis. Back in the first. It's outside for a ball. It's 1-1.
Well, one thing about the road trip for this team, they all got to go.
Off the handle and foul. It's 1-2 now to David Freese. Morton does like to work quickly. Gets the ball, ready to throw. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Inside for a ball. It's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit deep, left center field. Going back on it is Tyler Goodell at the edge of the warning track, and he makes the catch. He's got under that one a little bit, and that's the first out of the inning here in the top of the third.
Yeah. You know, and that's a pitch right there, Murph, that you probably will not see him throw during the season. He threw the 1-2 pitch curveball. He got underneath, he backed it up, he threw it for a 2-2 strike, spring training. Almost giving you to see this back-to-back all the time, and you want to work on things. That, my friend, is a hanger.
Yeah.
You know, 2-2, you do not want to get beat with your third best pitch.
Matt Joyce steps in. He doubled in his first at bat. Takes that one a little bit inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Pitch. Foul. Yeah, Freese just missed that one.
Yeah.
Got under that a little bit, but that was a pitch to hit. So we'd like to have that one back.
And you see that a lot in spring training. You see pitchers double up on pitches that they usually don't throw a whole lot during a regular season because they're working on things. Now, especially veterans. Older guys are working on things to get their command with stuff. Now, rookies are guys that are trying to make the team. They're pitching to make the team, so they're going to throw what they need to get the guy out with. They're not here to work on things. The only thing they're trying to work on is to impress people.
Exactly right. Impress the decision makers. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Line drive, opposite way, left field. Goodell going back on it. He's at the track and reaches up, and it is over the wall, and then it's gone. Hit off the glove, it looked like, of Goodell, and up over the yellow line out there in left field, and that's a home run for Matt Joyce. 5-0 now, Pirates. Goodell almost came down with that one.
Told you it was a good day to hit. Warm, muggy, wind's blowing up the left field a little bit.
Oh, Jason Rogers will step in. Takes that first pitch inside. Take another look. So Goodell going back on. He leaps. It's right there. Yeah, I think he got his glove on it, didn't he?
It's tough to hit his glove or hit the back of that little fence.
Inside for a ball. It's 2-0.
Timed it right.
He sure did. .2-0 pitch to Rogers. It's inside, so it's 3-0 now. Rogers flew out to Goodell in his last at bat. One out in the top of the third. Another run across for the Pirates. 3-0 pitch is over for a strike. It's 3-1. Milwaukee. So Rogers is aboard with one out. It's the third walk issued by Charlie Morton. And that'll bring up Jake Gobert. Freddie Galvis comes in to have a conversation with Charlie Morton. A runner at first, one out. Gilbert walked his last at bat, takes that one inside, so now Cameron Rupp's going to go out and have a conversation as well. Just 4 for 15 is Charlie Morton on first pitch strikes, and one of those was deposited over the wall. So well, he has his sign from Cameron Rupp, and here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's over for a strike. It's 1-1. Rogers leads off first. Gobert fouls that one. That's the first base bag. It's 1-2 now to Jake Gobert. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No. So it's Vic Carapazza. So 2-2 now to Gobert. Two pitch, swing and a miss, and he got him. Got him chasing the curveball for the second out of the inning. And that was a big strikeout there for Charlie Morton.
No, it was a very nice curveball. Yeah, we've seen this curveball the last few innings. Very nice curveballs getting over. Good speed, good velocity, good location down the zone. You know, I sit here and I watch Charlie when he's in a stretch, and how he turns his back so much to the hitter. And a lot of times that he throws pitches inside the left-handers, he misses well inside, or when he misses the right-hander, he's pulling the ball. It seems like his shoulders turn so far in that in order to open back up, he's got to really pull that front shoulder out, which is the reason why he's throwing a lot of balls to inside the lefties and away to right-handers.
So it's just a minor tweak that.
Yeah, look, see how his shoulder. Like you're looking as a hitter. When I see, so if I'm standing in the batter's box and I look at the pitch and I see when he turns his back and I see numbers, I know that he really has to explode that front shoulder to open up to get the ball inside.
Ground ball. Ryan Howard steps on the bag, and that is the final out here in the top of the third. But a little more damage done by the Pirates on the solo home run by Matt Joyce. They're through 2.5, and the Pirates lead it 5-0. Baseball is brought to you by Papa John's. The day after every Phillies win, get 50% off regular menu price pizzas using the promo code Phillies online at papajohns.com. And by W.B. Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And to the bottom of the third, 5-0 Pirates on 4 hits. A couple of long balls. And Tyler Goodell will step in for the first time. Takes that first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 250 so far for Goodell. 1 home run, 5 RBIs. He's opened some eyes for sure. He has to jump out of the way of that one. It's inside for a ball. It's 1-1. Very athletic guy. We saw a little bit of that. His leap at the wall there. Almost came back with that Matt Joyce home run. 1-1 pitch. Swings through that. It's 1-2. Two pitch, and it's a called third strike. He might have committed on the swing as well, but it's a strikeout nonetheless. The first out of the inning. Don't forget McDonald's opening night. An opening night t-shirt free to all fans 15 and over. Tuesday, April 12th at 7:05. It's also Hatfield Dollar Dog Night that night. The Padres, of course, are in town. You can order your tickets now at Phillies.com. So Charlie Morton will bat for the first time this spring. Takes that one high and outside for a ball. It's 1-0. This is the first opportunity we're seeing the Phillies pitchers bat in the spring. That one's on the inside corner for a strike, so it's 1-1 to Morton. Takes a hack at that one. It's 1-2. Pirates still using the DH today. The Phils decided to
cheaters.
Yeah. They think they are an American League squad or something. One-two pitch, and waits at that one for a strikeout. Tagged by Saravel. So that's a strikeout. Second in a row for Lobstein. And the second out of the inning here in the third. What's the reasoning behind that Pete Mackanin decides at this point to use his, the pitchers in the hitting lineup instead of getting another guy in at bat?
Well, you figure they're going to have maybe 2 more starts on the big field. They need to see some live pitching. You don't. The last thing you want to do is sit them on the backfield and go pitch in a AA or AAA game and make them hit in those games.
Right.
The last thing you want to do is you pitch to face AA and AAA. And not saying that the AA and AAA pitchers can't pitch. You just don't want them back there.
No,
they're back there.
That makes sense.
They're back there getting innings. So they need to see some live pitching. Honestly, with none out, put a sac bunt on. That's what they need to work on, right?
Right. Yeah. Freddie Galvis steps in. It's 0-1 to him, and that was in the dirt.
Fans will probably think, what are you doing? Why are they working on that? While you're working on to get better for the season.
Yeah, it's a fine line. Everybody likes to see wins, and we've seen a lot of them so far in the spring. But, every baseball guy you talk to says, don't pay attention to that. It's not that important down here. He swings and hits that one past Juan Samuel. And past the hitter's girl out in the left field corner. So it's 1-2 now to Freddie Galvis. Freddie grounded out to third in his only at-bat so far. Lead off. Phil's bottom of the first. And that one also the third. Rogers up with it. And that's the third out of the inning. So an easy inning for Lobstein as the Phils go 1-2-3. 2 strikeouts out of that inning as well. They're going to head to the fourth, and the Phillies trail it by 5. Pirates on top of the Phils 5-0. 5 runs, 4 hits for the Pirates. Just 1 hit for the Phils so far through 3. We take a look at our Toyota leaders today. It's wins leaders for active managers. You see the man in the other dugout today, Clint Hurdle, on that list. Coming in at number 6. 965 career wins for Clint Hurdle. Many of them have come over the last 2 seasons as he's guided the Pirates into the postseason in those years. Pretty good names on that list.
Yeah, there is.
That Terry Francona being there, number 5. Well, Danny Ortiz will step in to face Charlie Morton here to start the 4th inning. Ortiz singled in his last at bat. First pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. Pitch over for a strike. It's 0-2. Ortiz thought maybe that was a bit high. Morton wasting no time. The pitch, swing and a miss, and he got him. So a strikeout for Charlie Morton to start off the top of the fourth. That's one out in the inning. Pretty good pitch.
It's a good at bat, really. Attacking the strike zone, mixing in all his pitches, throwing a nice curveball right there. Thinking it's going to be in the strike zone that drops to the bottom of the zone. But the key is to jump ahead. Get ahead of your hitters.
Well, Pedro Flormon, who tagged Charlie Morton for a 2-run home run back in the second inning, steps in and swings through that first pitch. It's 0-1. Inside for a ball. It's 1-1. Morton really does work quickly, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He gets the ball. It's nice when you have good chemistry with you and the catcher. Cameron up. Him and I have the same fingers going down right now.
No swing there. Pedro Flormon. So it's 2-1 now to the Pirates' 9-hole hitter. Two-one pitch. Popped up. Foul territory. Bronco loses it in the sun. He can't see it. And that's going to fall safely to the ground. That's unfortunate because that was a play he could have made, but he lost it immediately in the sun. Here was the home run by Flormon. Right off the end of the bat, but it just kept on going and going.
Yeah, it was. It was a fastball low and away, and he got the barrel out there and created that great backspin and got the good carry to right center.
Well, he got a little bit of new life in this at bat. It's 2-2 now, so here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball, right side. Hernandez has it. 2 away. So back to the top of the order for the Pirates. Gregory Polanco, leadoff man. 0 for 2 so far today. Polanco grounded out. Struck out in his last at bat.
I wish they brought those flip down glasses back.
For the infielders and the outfielders.
For the infielders and outfielders.
First pitch to Polanco is a little bit low. Ball. Yeah, they were cool.
Well, and they were cool, but very rare did you ever see a ball lost in the sun.
No pitch, sails outside, so it's 2-0 now to Polanco. You know, no reason why a guy couldn't get a pair of those, right?
Well, yeah, first of all, I don't know if they make him anymore.
Well, maybe we should go into business. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and hit well. Center field. Borges going back on it. He's going to have some room. And right at the edge of the warning track, he makes the catch. So Polanco gave it a ride, but Borges is there for the third out of the inning. 1-2-3 go the Pirates here in the top of the fourth. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Pirates lead by 5. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Pirates with a 5-0 lead over the Phillies. And we welcome in a guest today on the program, Larry Bowa, Phillies bench coach, going to join us down by the Phillies dugout. Larry, thanks for being with us.
All right, guys. Another nice day here in Florida.
It kind of gets redundant, doesn't it, down here?
Yeah, it does. It does. But, we're getting towards the end here, and these last 2 weeks, to me, they're important. And, as far as Morton today, I think he's throwing the ball well. His command's not what it should be, but obviously the velocity's there, good sink. And as you guys well know, when you're pitching 2-0, 3-1, these guys get pretty good looks. But I think the velocity's good, and the way it's coming out's good. And, again, it's his first time in the big park here. He's pitched in the minor leagues because he was sick earlier. So I think everybody's pleased the way the ball's coming out.
Well, and I agree with you, Larry, 100%. I think, and I said I like what I see. I just didn't like the result.
Right.
And the guy's throwing 94, 95 miles an hour. Do you think it's important for a catcher to set up maybe more towards the middle of the plate?
You know what, Matt? You hit it right on the nose because we talked about that. We want him to, especially with his sinker.
Yeah.
Sit up right in the middle, and then as you get ahead, you can expand it. Right from the start. I know McClure has told him, I want you in the middle of the plate with this guy. And maybe that's why he's missing. Because it doesn't look like he's missing by that much, but he was missing.
Wilfredo Boscan is the new pitcher for the Pirates. Cesar Hernandez stepping in against him. It's 2-0 to Hernandez. Larry, where you're sitting, and you obviously have a great vantage point in watching Charlie Morton. You're echoing what Matt was saying from upstairs. So when he comes into the dugout, and after getting missing here and getting behind guys, is there a conversation with him or?
You know what, Mac has his conversation the next day.
Okay.
He'll get the pitchers and catchers that pitched the previous day and go over the sequence, and maybe setting up like you guys have indicated. I mean, one pitch that stands out to us that was blatant was the 9-hitters hitting, and it's the first pitch changeup. He hasn't seen any pitches at all, and he hits a home run.
Right.
I mean, to me, that's not a very good pitch selection there. So I'm sure they'll talk about that tomorrow. But they do that the next day. They sort of critique the previous day's work.
Well, exactly right. You're throwing a first pitch changeup off of what?
Exactly.
You haven't seen a good 94, 95 mile an hour fastball. Let's talk about the real athletes now.
Right.
The young players. Cesar Hernandez right here hits the ball down the left field line, which is going to be an easy double. You have to be impressed with what you've seen so far this spring training with the young kids that were sent down. The way that Cesar Hernandez, Michael Franco's approach, Freddie Galvis playing solid defense. And you got to be excited what you see so far.
No question, Matty. And like you said, the kids we sent down, there's a future here, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. But the guys that are playing right now, like you said, Cesar and Freddie and Franco and Goodell, to me, has been very impressive for a Rule 5 guy. There's some good things happening here. And we also know that we're in a very tough division, and we're going to have to catch it and pitch it.
Right.
We have to play good defense, and we have to get good pitching because I don't think we're going to blow anybody out. Hopefully we're in every ball game and try to squeak out a run here and there and see if you can win some 4-3, 3-2 ball games.
Mikel Franco steps in now. It's 0-1 to him. The first pitch on the outside corner. Hernandez takes his lead off second. Larry, you talk about being in ball games. Certainly here this spring, the team has been in the ball games, and they've won a bunch of these ball games. Wins and losses in spring training, it's the age-old argument. How important is it over the past couple of years? The team hasn't won a whole lot of games, and we saw the results in the regular season.
Well, if you have a veteran team, I'll be the first to tell you wins and losses don't mean anything in spring training. But when you have a young team, I think it sort of sets a tone. They get a lot of positive vibes going through the clubhouse. And it is important when you got a young team. But an older team, they know what they have to do to get ready. And so they basically take their time. Hitters know what they need. Pitchers know what they have to do. But with a young team, and there's a lot of competition here, you got a lot of guys fighting for jobs. We had a meeting yesterday, and to be honest with you, there's some wide open spots here, and we'll probably go down to the wire.
Well, and I think that the biggest wide is the open spot is the bullpen. That's the biggest question right now. A lot of guys. Bailey looks really well throwing the fastball, having good command of his cutter. I love watching Hinojosa pitch.
Well, that's Pete's favorite so far. He goes back to last year.
Yeah,
he loved Hinojosa, and he had good outings last year, and he's had a good outings this year. Bailey's been throwing the ball exceptionally well. We have some good arms there, and the people that we are going to send out eventually, there's some inventory down at AAA, and I think that's important. Last year, we didn't have a lot of inventory, but this year, even if you take a look at the starters that were sent down already, if somebody should go down, like I said, you're not going to bring up some guy's got an ERA of 7 in AAA. Velasquez yesterday was outstanding. And
he really was.
That's a big plus for us. I mean, he was a key man in the trade. And again, like Morton throwing today, to me is a good sign. I really like it. Noah threw the ball well the last time out, threw 5 innings, gave up 1 run. There's a lot of good things happening here. There's no question about it.
Well, a good thing we saw yesterday, Larry, in yesterday's ball game was Ryan Howard swinging the bat better and doubled in the home run. What have you seen? Ryan missed some time, obviously, with the illness. He was out for a couple of days. What have you seen from the first baseman?
Well, it looks like he's trying to get the head out a little bit. I mean, he's pulling some balls to right field, which to me is a good sign. I know I throw batting practice to him sometimes, and he hits line drives to right, and you hear him go, no, no, no. And I'm saying to myself, yes, yes, yes. But the last couple of days, he's pulled some balls. He's had some bat speed, and I think that's a big part of his success. Hopefully he can continue.
Well, he looks like he's in tremendous shape. I mean, he has for the last few years. But it seems like he's moving around very well at first base.
Yeah, he's doing he's doing his work. He's getting everything in. He's a big guy. And, when you have leg injuries like that, there's going to be some plays that you just can't make. But for the most part, he does his work. And like I said, the last couple of days he swung the bat very well.
It's 1-1 right now to Ryan Howard. Cesar Hernandez leads off second. He doubled to start off the inning. Mikel Franco grounded out to shortstop. 1-1 pitch on the outside corner for a strike. It's 1-2.
Now, since Pete's sitting beside you and you just saw a ball hit to Cesar Hernandez at second base.
He's got to be at third base.
Is that something tomorrow that you'll probably go and early work on?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. That's a 50-cent. Pete already wrote it down. That's a fine. We talked about that when the ball's from the center of your body to the left. And again, taking a peek where the shortstop is, you got to go over on that ball.
Howard lines that one into the
nice.
empty space between the second baseman and the shortstop, and in comes Cesar Hernandez to score. So the Phil's on the board, an RBI single for Ryan Howard, taking it the other way.
Well, I'd like to see him do that a little more. I mean, especially like when we're behind. We need base runners, and you're going to give him that hole there and pull the shift on him. Got an RBI, an easy RBI there. That's a nice hitting right there.
Yeah, we've seen that. He often has that side of the field to work with. And just takes it where it was pitched.
Well, the nice thing about that swing is it was a curveball down in the zone. He didn't try to do too much. He didn't try to pull it.
Yeah, he didn't try to smother it into the shift, and that's. I'm to tell you, you got to be happy the last couple games the way he swung the bat.
Well, that'll bring up Cameron Rupp. He grounded out to the catcher in his first at bat. First pitch to Rupp is low and inside for a ball. You mentioned competition, Larry, and that's always a good thing, regardless of the sport, regardless of the situation, regardless of anything, really, in any walk of life. Competition is a good thing. Cam Rupp's a guy who is competing for a job at the big league level. Got a taste of it last year. But what have you seen out of him so far?
I think he swung the bat very well. And obviously, we know about his throwing and everything. He's very outstanding defensively. Him and Chooch, that's going to be Pete's decision who catches how many games. But right now, it looks, barring any injuries, that those two guys will probably be the catchers. Chooch hit 2 home runs last night.
Yeah, he did.
I saw that.
So they both change up 79 miles an hour. So that's a good sign, though. I mean, anytime Chooch starts swinging the bat, but again, competition. That's important.
Rupp stands in, the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to the left side. It gets through for a base hit. So back-to-back singles for Howard and Rupp. And now runners in first and second with 1 out. We're joined by Larry Bowa, the Phil's bench coach, here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And you just mentioned Carlos Ruiz playing in Panama right now, the World Baseball Classic for his home country. And it was fun to watch. I don't know, Larry, if you got a chance to see some of the swings that he was taking. One of the home run swings that they were showing the highlights today online, and it looked like Chooch was going to try to put one over the wall to wow the fans in Panama.
I didn't see it, but I'm sure he was excited after he hit him.
Runners on first and second. Cedric Hunter steps in. Hard hit ground ball past the diving first baseman. And that's going to be a base hit. Ryan Howard's going to be held at third. And that'll load him up for the Phillies. So a couple of hard hit balls here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, and Larry, before I even get a chance to talk about competitions in the outfield, you guys have to be very happy with what you've seen so far from Cedric Hunter. He's going out there. He has a great plan on what he wants to do, and he's shown some power so far in spring training.
No question, Matty. And this kid's an unbelievable worker. I mean, he's one of the first guys in the cage. He's one of those guys that really have not gotten an opportunity, whether it be his stats in the minor leagues, but he's come in here and he's been very aggressive. I know Pete's made some comments about it. Him and David Lowe.
Yep.
You got two guys that are battling there. Lowe's been around a while. They both bring a little something different to the ball club, and it's going to be all dependent on what Pete and the general manager want in that area there. So they know the situation with Altair going down. So obviously there's an outfield spot open. Ashley still hasn't played. He is supposed to play, I guess, in the next couple days. So that's something to watch out for. And again, we talk about jobs wide open, and these guys that have not played in the big leagues, they get a feel like, hey, it'd be nice to play in the big leagues for a year. So they're putting on their best effort right now during spring training.
Well, it's good news to hear about Cody Ashley. Hopefully he gets back out on the field. It must be a pretty frustrating time for Cody. I know you're around him all the time, Larry. Coming into this spring training, knowing that there was jobs to be won and not being able to get on the field, essentially, for Cody Ashley has to be very, very frustrating for him.
Yeah, he's really disappointed. I mean, he came in great shape. He was hitting the ball well. And when you pull the oblique, that might be a knock. Get down.
Get down.
Yeah.
And it does. Ryan Howard's going to score and, well, keep the train going.
Yeah. But Cody was swinging well. And hopefully he can regain that form. We think this guy can hit 15 to 20 home runs. And if that's the case, we need somebody in there with a little pop besides Howie. And that would be a big bat in the lineup.
Well, that'll bring up Tyler Goodell, who struck out in his first at bat with the bases loaded. Single. 4 singles right in a row for the Phils. That's good. One way of scoring a run.
One run, yeah.
Yeah.
With Cody, I know it's frustrating and stuff, and hopefully he does get back the next couple of days. But the good thing about it is there's still about 2.5 weeks left of spring training. Unfortunately, he'll probably be making a lot of road trips, which is fine. But I agree with you 100%. I still believe he's a guy who probably could hit 25 home runs as long as he's a little more aggressive in the strike zones. He's got one of the prettiest swings in baseball.
He does. And we talked about that last year with a lot of 2-0, 3-1 pitches, getting a fastball and fouling it off. And you can't do that up here. But, I'm sure Pete's going to have him down there at the minor leagues. If he doesn't start these games, get 6, 7, 8 at-bats a day. So the at-bats will come if he's healthy.
It's Tyler Goodell. That's going to find a hole, another base hit. 2 runs are going to score. Here comes Cedric Hunter, and the throw to the plate is not in time.
Nice.
Hunter slides under the tag, and that's 2 RBIs for Tyler Goodell. And just like that, the Phils have pulled it within 1.
Yeah, we just don't want to get 13 hits and 4 runs. We need somebody to send a souvenir out there.
Well, here's a question now. We talked about earlier about the 50 cents fine. Now, does Borges going from first to third on that ball? Does he get his money back for it?
There's no money getting back, Matt. In fact, we got close to like $800 or $900 on 50-cent fines because if one guy gets fined, the whole team has to pay. So there's a little bit of jousting going on in the clubhouse if a guy makes a mistake. It's we're having a lot of fun with it.
And that kind of thing not only going to bring a clubhouse together, obviously, but it's going to make people think.
No question.
I guess that's the whole purpose of it.
I think Pete has an idea maybe jacking it up a little bit because whoever's on the big league roster is going to be making at least 500.
Yeah.
So we can jack it up a little.
I like it. Keep it going all season. Well, base hit by Goodell. Plates 2 runners. 5-4 here now. And
look at this.
Nice bunt by Charlie Morton. Here comes the
safe. Look at this.
Speed kills, right? Peter Borges breaking on that bunt. Run scores, and we're all tied up.
How about that?
Well, and tip your hat again. It comes down to where Tyler Goodell hits the base, hit the right field. Peter Borges reads the ball going home, goes to third base, and allows a good opportunity here. I'm assuming it would be a safety squeeze.
Yep, that's what Pete just told me. I can't get off the headphones till we.
I was thinking the same thing.
This could be the longest interview we've ever had with the coach on here. But it's fun, though. I mean, it is fun. Because this is the time in spring training where we try to find out everything that's going on and where the coaches are thinking and when there's so many questions that people want to find out.
And I'll tell you, Matt.
And you're the lucky charm.
Maybe, we had a meeting yesterday, and I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of guys that are neck and neck fighting for jobs, and they're still, like you said, 2.5 weeks. So everything's wide open.
Phils are battling in this one, and we talked about Morton getting a chance to bat today. It's the first we're seeing the pitchers bat for in the spring training, and that's what a pitcher needs to work on. They put down a beautiful bunt right there.
And he's got to do that during the season, and pitchers that handle the bat. Not only do they help themselves, they stay in the game a little bit longer. If you know a guy can lay down a bunt. So they've been working in the cages on that, but this is the first time we've had it happen on the field. And I think the rest of the way the pitchers will hit, especially at our park.
5 runs across here in the bottom of the 4th, all tied up at 5. Runners at first and second. Freddie Galvis steps in. He's 0 for 2 this afternoon. 2 ground outs to third for Freddie. But with an opportunity here, the runners are moving, and it's fouled straight back. So Larry Goodell will have to head back to second. You know, Larry, we've talked a lot about the offense, but I think one of the major improvements this year, at least on paper, it certainly looks like the outfield defense is going to be a big part of it. And Matt Klentak spoke about it a little bit earlier in spring, saying, you know, with the staff, the pitching staff that is being assembled right now, the importance of outfield defense, you know, you just can't. It can't be understated. So how important is it for you, and what do you see so far of these guys?
Well, Pete stressed this the whole time. You want the pitching defense and us to execute hit and runs and squeeze plays, but our outfield defense definitely is better before we even play a game. And Freddie would be the first to tell you last year he didn't play the way he thought he should, and I think this spring he's really worked on his defense. Cesar and Mikey are doing good down there. So we can improve in all areas defensively. Look at this.
Drive, another base hit.
Man, you guys are making me stay.
Goodell rounds third. He's going to come in easily. He'll score. 6 runs across in the bottom of the 4th.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. We might have to invest in another headset for you, Larry.
Well, we got a pitching change here.
Yeah, so I guess.
So is that a hint?
I guess
maybe I can take off.
Yeah, I think you've done your fair share. Larry, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the 6 runs as well.
All right, guys, have a good one. Okay.
Larry Bowa joining us, and as Larry said, a pitching change here at Bright House Field, and the Buccos getting roughed up here in the bottom of the 4th. Phil's up by 1. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota's hybrid fleet is nothing short of a home run. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Well, what a bottom of the 4th inning for the Phils. 6 runs across already. Just 1 out in the inning. Pitching change for the Pirates. Guido Knudsen is the new pitcher. He's appeared in 4 games so far for the Pirates. And he'll try to get the Buccos out of this inning, but the Phils have batted around. Cesar Hernandez, who led off this inning with a double, back up there for his second at-bat of the inning. Our thanks again to Larry Bowa for joining us and helping out with those runs. Look at that, 1 hit, no runs in the first 3 innings, and then the 4th. 7 hits, 6 runs so far. First pitcher, Hernandez, is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Still runners at first and second. It's the pitcher out there at second base, Charlie Morton, and Freddie Galvis over there at first. Everything's gone right for the Phils in this inning. Some hard hit balls, finding some holes. And that's on the outside corner for a strike. It's 1-1. A well executed bunt by Morton. We see Luis Garcia starting to get loose in the Phillies bullpen. 1-1 pitch, ground ball, first base.
Robert has it, flips over to Knutson for the out. So runners advance up to second and third. That's the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Maikel Franco. Believe it or not, Franco was, up until that Hernandez at bat, the only guy that had recorded an out in this inning. Ground ball to shortstop and earlier in this inning. Franco 0 for 2 on the day. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Bottom of the fourth. First pitch to Franco is in the dirt, and it gets by Saravelli, but no advancement. We didn't even get to ask Larry about Maikel Franco. I think I know what he would have said.
They brought it up.
He called him Mike, though. He says Mike's playing well at defense.
He can do that.
Yes, he can.
Yeah. One-0 pitch. Swung on and hit high and deep to left field. Going back on it is Joyce at the wall. He leaps and gone! A 3-run home run for Maikel Franco, and the Phillies have busted this one wide open. 7th home run of the spring for Franco. RBIs number 15, 16, and 17. And that one was high and deep.
Just a sweet swing, high fastball, gets on top of it. He actually misses it.
He really does.
But he's so strong and has the proper technique of getting that carry on the ball. I told you it was a great day to hit.
Well, that is evidence of it right there. It really didn't look like he got all of that one at all. And, well, nonetheless, a 3-run shot. 9-5 Phillies, all 9 runs coming in here in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch to Ryan Howard is over for a strike. He really got things started with the single that plated Cesar Hernandez earlier in this inning. And swings through that one. It's 0-2 down to Ryan Howard. Cameron Rupp waits on deck. And he swings and pops that one out of play over our heads. So it remains 0-2 to Ryan Howard.
Pretty good inning so far. 9
Yeah,
runs.
this works. The 0-2 pitch. Line drive. Base hit. Past the shift. Out there in right field. And Ryan Howard is aboard with 2 outs. And they're going to keep it going. Ten hits so far here in the bottom of the fourth. 9 hits so far. Cameron Rupp, who had one of those hits, will step in. Ryan Howard takes his lead off first. It's over for a strike. It's 0-1. Howard gets his lead off first, and that one's in the dirt. So it's 1-1 now to Cameron Rupp. Knutson from the stretch. 1-1 pitch outside for a ball. It's 2-1.
I'd like to see Cameron get a fastball elevated a little bit right here. Just absolutely crushing the left.
2-1 pitch. Now how about a base hit in the center field? And once again, Ryan Howard moves up to second on a single by Cameron Rupp. And we're not done yet. I'll bring up Cedric Hunter. He also singled, knocked in a run.
14th hitter this inning.
25 minutes.
14 hitters.
Guess that's why it's been 25 minutes. Is that one sails outside? It's 1-0. Hunter's got 2 hits in this ball game, a triple and a single. Why not keep it going?
Might as well clip one right here.
Yeah. Outside for a ball. It's 2-0.
Poor Juan Samuel's going to need to ice his shoulder after this inning.
I think he'll be okay with that. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fouled back. Hunter steps in and 2-1 pitch popped up on the infield. Rogers over by the third base bag and makes the catch. And that is the third out of the inning, but not before the damage was done. How about 9 runs in the bottom of the 4th, and that is the big blow. A 3-run shot by Maikel Franco. The Phillies lead it 9-5. We'll gear up for the Phillies 2016 season. Hear what the Phillies' new president, Andy MacPhail, and new general manager, Matt Klentak, have planned for the future of the Phillies. Watch Phillies Focus, presented by Acme, tonight at 10 on Comcast Sportsnet. 9-5 Phillies as we head to the top of the 5th. All 9 of those runs, courtesy of 10 hits in the bottom of the 4th inning. A 26-minute half inning for the Phils. Just the way they dialed it up. New pitcher for the Phillies is Luis Garcia. He has struggled so far this spring through 4 games, an ERA of 8.31. 4 walks. Does have 6 strikeouts.
Well, he already went down to get him. I'll just tell him.
There you see the numbers in the Phillies' 4th inning. 14 batters to the plate, 10 hits, 9 runs. Almost a half hour baseball. Gonna get Larry Bow a throat lozenge. Saravelli steps in to face Luis Garcia. Takes that first pitch high and inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Saravelli walked and scored back in the first. Also grounded out to shortstop. Straight back. Foul. 1-1. So now what you need is Luis Garcia to come in and have a shutdown inning.
Put up a goose egg right here.
It certainly would be good for him, confidence standpoint.
Well, it'd be nice to see a goose egg, put a 0 up there, but it'd be nice to see him go out there and just throw strikes. If you get a hit, you get hit. Nice slider off speed pitch. I'd rather see a guy go up there and throw strikes and attack the strike zone. If you get base hits, there's nothing you can do about it. But it's the ball 1, ball 2, 3-1, foul ball. Next thing you know, you walk a guy. That's where it gets frustrating, where the staff gets a little angry with.
I don't like that. He blows that one by Saravelli for a strikeout. And that's the first out of the inning here in the 5th. Yeah, there's no argument that Garcia's got really good stuff.
He does, and that one there was a backup slider, which is the hardest pitch to hit because it backs up and you think it's going to break to your barrel. But he does. He has a lot of a very good fastball. He has a very good slider. Off-speed pitches are good. Just to me, he just looks like he tries to overthrow sometimes, and that's why he really pulls the fastball to right-handers and inside the left-handers. When he misses, that's where he misses.
Yeah. Well, gets that one over the outside corner for a strike, so it's 0-1 to David Freese. Freese is 0 for 2. Inside for a ball, it's 1-1. You say he overthrows the ball. I mean, talk us through that. What exactly do you mean?
Well, I think what it is you get the target right there and you see where Cameron's set up, and you want to throw the fastball basically to the glove or try to throw it through the glove. And when guys are overthrowing, what happens is you have a tendency to get your hand around the baseball. You end up pulling the baseball a little more than you used to. And really, you're just trying to do too much. You're trying to throw the ball harder than you're capable of doing. And what happens is all of a sudden you get all this movement with your body. Your arm never catches up to your body. You're throwing with a lot of tense muscles in your body, and that's the reason why you're absolutely pulling the ball and not throwing strikes. It's like over-swinging. The harder you try to throw or the harder you try to swing, the slower the ball comes out of your hand and the slower your bat goes through the zone.
Well, the count is even 2-2 to David Freese. From the stretch, 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and he got him. Pulls the string on that one, gets Freese swinging over top of it, and that's the second out of the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts for Luis Garcia.
Now that's a perfect location for the slider. That's where the pitch to Cervelli was a backup slider. That one there starts in the zone. Hard to pick up the rotation because it's a hard slider. Thinking it's a fastball, you attack it. Now all of a sudden it darts out of the zone, out of the strike zone. Perfect location with 2 strikes on the slider.
Well, that'll bring up Matt Joyce. He homered his last at bat over the left field wall, just over the glove of Tyler Goodell. First pitch. It's a little bit high inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Charlie Morton is down in the Phillies bullpen. Throwing a couple more pitches before he's going to call it a day. He's in line to get the win now.
Told you that's what I saw.
Yeah. Hey, it was interesting to hear Larry Bowa talk about that as well. It's important. They're seeing what they're seeing, and get that message to Charlie Morton and talk about that.
Well, and that's the biggest thing is you'd love to see results during the season. Do you want them to go out and see 3-1, 2-1 to every hitter? No.
Right.
But what you get excited about is you see the 95-mile-an-hour sinker, which just drops off the table. It's just a matter of getting the command. And see, they're talking to Kratzy right there and trying to figure out what they want to do and how they want to work on things.
2-1 pitch, ground ball, right side. Cesar Hernandez is up with it, and that is out number 3. So a good showing for Luis Garcia in his half inning of work here in the 5th. The Pirates go down 1-2-3. We're going to head to the bottom of the 5th. Phillies lead by 4. McDonald's opening night. Well, it's April 12th, Tuesday, April 12th at 7:05. Free to all fans 15 and over is the McDonald's opening night T-shirt. You see it right there. It's also Hatfield Dollar Dog Night. Padres are in town. You can order your tickets now at Phillies.com. Speaking of Hatfield Dollar Dogs, well, they're shooting some out right here at Bright House Field. They're Smiley. Always good to have him down here in Florida. Everybody likes a Dollar Dog Night, right?
Absolutely.
Well, the Pirates have made some changes defensively and on the mound. There's the new pitcher, Trey Haley, coming in into his 6th game. That's very well for them. 5 innings pitched, just 4 hits, 4 strikeouts as well. Haley from Nacogdoches, Texas. Pitched in both the Double-A and Triple-A for the Pirates a year ago. Peter Borges is going to step in here in the bottom of the 5th. Be the first one to face Haley. Borges was part of the hit train in the bottom of the 4th. He singled, scored a run in that inning as well. And his first pitch swinging, and he hits that one down the left field line and foul out of play. You see the changes for the Pirates. Barrett Barnes now in left field, Mel Rojas Jr. in right. Jacob Stallings is the new catcher of Clint Hurdle's team. And when it's inside, Borges able to get out of the way. It's 1-1 now to Peter Borges. It'll be Borges and Tyler Goodell in the pitcher spot. On one pitch, swung on and hit well. Left field, forget about that one. Barnes just looks up and watches it go into the Tiki Bar. Another home run for Peter Borges and another run for the Phils. They now lead it 10-5. Never a doubt. That one got out in a hurry.
In a hurry, very loud, very nice short swing. The hands going back, straight to the ball.
Yeah. On the line and into the Tiki Bar.
It's in about 4 seconds.
Yeah, got up there quickly. So that'll bring up Tyler Goodell. He takes a big hat and swings through that one.
Just make Mike Schmidt proud right there.
That's right. Peter Borges is such an interesting story for the Phils this season. He's been struggling over the last couple of years offensively, but at one time, not only is one of the best defensive players, outfield players in the big leagues, he put a couple seasons together where you could make the argument he's one of the better players in the big leagues. And that's what the Phils are hoping to recapture with Peter Borges. The pitch was in the dirt. 1-2. Luis Garcia has moved into the on-deck circle. He's got a bat. Let's look up how many times he got up to the plate last year. I can imagine it's more than 2 or 3. And Goodell hits that one on the ground. That's going to be a tough play, and I just hope it goes foul. It does not. With Goodell's speed, they had no chance. So that'll be a base hit for Goodell. He's safe down there at first. And that's the second hit for Goodell in the afternoon. He can fly. Once that ball got up in the air a little bit, they just had to hope it hit the cutout and kind of bounce foul, which it did not do. So that'll bring up Luis Garcia. What do you think?
Well, he's going to lay a toke down, but I don't think he's going to feel real comfortable doing it with the guy throwing 97.
Yeah, probably not. And he watches that one sail outside for a ball, so it's 1-0.
I mean, this is the toughest thing for a reliever to do.
Sure.
Yeah, you look forward to getting in at bat. I don't know if Garcia really cares. I mean, some guys did.
Some guys do. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask Luis later. 1-0 pitch. That's on the inside corner for a strike. It's 1-1.
You know, we get back to talking about Peter Bourjos, and one thing I'm excited about to watch is that he's always been a guy that plays every day in center field, so he never worries about his defense. He's always worried about his hitting. Now, all of a sudden, he's playing a different position. He has to learn how to play left field. He has to take a lot of fly balls, a lot of ground balls in left field. Now, all of a sudden, your 100% thought process is going into about 50-50 with your outfield work and your hitting, which sometimes helps your hitting because you don't think about it all the time. You don't go home, driving home, and go, man, you know, why'd I do that, or I should have done this. Now, all of a sudden is that you're concentrating on your defense. And next thing you know, you're having a good spring training. You look up and go, oh, I'm hitting 350.
Right. You're dividing your attention, which, if you're pressing, that's always a good thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the thought is that Odubel Herrera will be the starting center fielder. Pete Buchanan has said that. He'd like to keep him in center field. And so that would move Bourjos over inside. In tight. Garcia belts out of the way, and that is a full count now to Luis Garcia. There you see Odubel Herrera, and we saw him at the very, very beginning of the broadcast today. He was doing some work out in the outfield with Juan Samuel, which was great to see. I would expect we'll see him back in game action maybe even as early tomorrow. Runner's off. That ball is inside, and he walked him. Not what Trey Haley was trying to do as he walks Luis Garcia. Garcia's trying to giving himself up, and gives him a free pass instead. So runners at first and second now, and that's the top of the order. Back up, Freddie Galvis. The book on Trey Haley is that he does walk a lot of guys, throws hard, but not always sure where it's going, and that one got away from him. So still nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. One run across on the home run by Peter Bourjos, and a single by Tyler Goodell. And a walk to Luis Garcia, and the first pitch to Freddie Galvis is a little outside for a ball. It's 1-0.
Love it.
Fouls that one back.
I always wanted better Freddie's swing this spring. You know, sometimes you get locked in, you step in that batter's box, you don't feel great, and all of a sudden you take a nice swing and it's a foul ball straight back, or you hook a foul ball to right field corner. Something clicks, all of a sudden now you start feeling comfortable about your swing.
1-1 pitch. Swings through that one. It's 1-2. Yeah, you know, we talked about him getting off to a little bit of a slow start in the spring, but before the games began, you know, you were down in uniform, you were working with these hitters, and you liked what you saw out of Freddie Galvis.
Well, I did, because his mind is set where he wants to hit the ball on the ground. He wants to hit line drives. Every time he hit a fly ball, I have no idea what he was saying to himself. Didn't understand the language, but he was frustrated, and all of a sudden he made a quick adjustments, and he was back hitting the ball on the ground. And you know, he might strike out here, he might hit a fly ball, but at least he knows he needs to make adjustments, and that's what he's doing right now. And you can watch after every time they make swings. That's the biggest thing, is watch hitters when they take a swing. If their front side's leaving too early, a lot of times they'll slap their leg or slap their thigh, telling you to stay back on your leg. If all of a sudden, like Freddie just did, he swung at a slider and he hooked a foul, all of a sudden your practice swings are going through the middle with the bat. So hitters will determine what they're doing wrong at home plate.
Well, he swings through that one, and that's the first out of the inning. A strikeout for Haley. Well, we told you that Villanova was participating in the NCAA tournament. Their game today, first-round game over UNC Asheville and the Wildcats with a big win, a 30-point win. Just the way it should be for the number 2 seed, so they will be moving on. Either Iowa or Temple in the next round. Temple Owls getting set to tip off in their first-round game. That will be an interesting second-round matchup if that happens. I think the folks that put the bracket together knew exactly what they were doing when they did that. Cesar Hernandez steps in. He has 1 for 3. It's double on the afternoon. Luis Garcia leads off first. Tyler Goodell off second. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's high and outside for a ball. It's 2-0. 96 on the gun, but
Ball two.
Ball two. Exactly right. Well, he has his sign. 2-0 pitch. This is 3-0. It's a good take by Cesar Hernandez. All four. Hernandez is aboard, the second walk in the inning. And the Phils have him loaded again. And that's one of those spots where you want to see Maikel Franco, and that's exactly who you're going to see. The first conversation at the mound. Things are not going well for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So, conversation with Trey Haley happening on the mound. Here's what happened in the fourth inning when Maikel Franco got up. And you said, Matt, he's so strong. He didn't even get all of that one, but able to put that one into the bullpen out there in left field. It was a 3-run shot. And that one helped break this one kind of open. Peter Borges has added a home run since then. Phils lead it 10-5. Look at that. 15 of the last 19 batters for the Phils have reached base. That's silly. The bases are loaded here. First pitch to Franco is inside for a ball. It's 1-0.
Look at the height of that ball right there. And that's what you call keeping your hands above the baseball. You can see right there his hands are above the baseball. Getting on top of that ball, missing it, but still being able to generate that bat spin.
1-0 pitch. Lets that one go on the outside corner for a strike. It's 1-1. Goodell's down there at third. It's Luis Garcia leading off second. Cesar Hernandez down there at first. 1-1 pitch. Nice pulls. 1-2 now to Maikel Franco. Franco giving a little credit. Shake of the head.
See if we see him shorting up a little bit. You can see the stance is a little wider. He gets out of the pull mode. He thinks more of right center.
1-2 pitch.
Ooh,
He
nice
swings
pitch.
through that one. Another good pitch for Trey Haley, and Maikel Franco goes down swinging. That's the second out of the inning. And the bases remain loaded, and Ryan Howard will step to the plate.
This is a nasty off-speed pitch. I think it's a fastball inside. Step in the bucket a little bit. Bottom drops off. Very good location. Very good pitch.
Yeah, you read the scouting report on Trey Haley, and this is the inning that you expect. You know, he allows the home run and a single, 2 walks, but also 2 strikeouts in the inning. Let's see what he can do here against Ryan Howard, who's 2 for 3 on the afternoon. He swings and hits that one deep to center field. Going back on it was Ortiz. He looks up and forget about it. Over the batter's eye in center field. A 3-run shot for Ryan Howard, his second in as many games. Boy, oh boy.
Somebody's feeling good at home plate right now.
That was such an easy swing, and that ball went far. And the crowd is on their feet here at Bright House. They like what they're seeing. I said 3-run home. That was a grand slam. I apologize. Grand slam for Ryan Howard.
Well, this ball is hit far enough for me with 5 runs. It's a great swing right there when you know that finish and he drops that bat. He knows. Just a matter of how far it's going to go. Nice to see.
It clears the bases. And now it's 14-5 Phillies. I shortchanged Ryan Howard.
He'll forgive you.
Yeah, I think so.
Another 2-0 knock.
Runs are coming in bunches. Inside pitch to Cameron Rupp. It's 2-0 now to Cameron Rupp. Ryan Howard's still getting some congratulations in the dugout. Now it's over for a strike. It's 2-1.
Not too shabby. 3 for 4. 5 RBIs for Ryan.
Rupp fouls that one out of play.
All he says, Ryan, is I just want to have fun. Big man has been smiling a lot lately.
2-2 pitch. Popped up. Right side. And he chases Gobert, and he's going to run out of room. That one hits off the top of the Pirates dugout into the crowd.
You don't see too many balls hit over the batter's eye in center field.
No, I think that's only the second one I've seen.
And that went way over. That might have hit my truck.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, and that one's hit well. Down the left field line. If it's fair, oh, it's fair. That's gone to another home run. Cameron Rupp going back-to-back with Ryan Howard. And the Phillies are just pouring it on now. It's 15-5. Well, you said you wanted to see Rupp turn on one, and well, he did just that. Down the left field line, into the tiki bar.
Who says hitting's not contagious?
Clint Hurdle has seen enough, and there will be a pitching change here at Bright House Field. But man, oh man, the floodgates have opened. They scored 9 in the 4th, did the Phils. They've scored 6 so far here in the 5th. Hurdle's going to try to find somebody to get the Phillies out in a little bit easier fashion. Take another look. Bases were juiced. Ryan Howard straightaway center field, as you said, over the batter's eye for a grand slam. It's 15-5. There you see what has been happening here at Bright House Field. Started off good for the Pirates, who scored some early runs in this one. One in the first, there are 3 in the second, and 1 in the third. But then the Phillies have exploded. 15 runs in the last 2 innings. Ryan Howard, grand slam in his last 2 days. 5 for 8, 2 home runs, a double, 3 runs, 6 RBIs. And he has been doing some damage today. Look at those numbers. 15 runs across for the Phillies, and they're not done yet. Cedric Hunter fouls that one straight back and up and over our heads. Hunter, the 9th batter of the inning again, was batting around for the 2nd straight inning. That one sails outside for a ball. It's 2-1. Jim Fuller is the new pitcher for the Pirates, coming in part of that pitching change. And you see Hunter's numbers today. It's triple, single. Check swing. Did he go? Yeah, he did. 2-2 now to Cedric Hunter. Peter Borges waits on deck. He started this inning with a solo shot. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside for a ball. It's 3-2. And you said it early in this game, Matt. It was a good day to hit. And early on, it was a good day to hit for the Pirates.
They jumped out to a quick 5-0 lead. That's gone.
15 unanswered. And that one is hit well. Right center field, and going back on it is Ortiz, and he's going to have room on that one. He hit it hard, line drive. Ortiz able to pull that one in for the 3rd out of the inning, but none of these were able to be pulled in. Borges, Howard, Rupp. 3 home runs in that inning, 6 more runs across. The Phillies lead it 15-5. There you see it. It's been all Phillies over the last 2 innings. 15-5, top of the 6th. 15 unanswered runs in the last 2 innings for the Phillies offense. Everybody getting involved, especially Ryan Howard with the grand slam home run. Luis Garcia remains in the game for the Phillies, pitching in his 2nd consecutive inning. Jason Rogers is the batter. The first pitch to him was over for a strike. It's 0-1. Swings through that one. It's 0-2 now to Rogers. Rogers 0 for 1. Walked back in the 3rd inning. He also flew out to left field. Phillies have made some changes defensively. I'll get you that in a sec. Check swing. Did he go? Yeah. Davidson said he did. And Jason Rogers is a strikeout victim. That's the 3rd strikeout for Luis Garcia since coming into the game. And first out here in the 6th. And that's going to be it. So Pete Maccannon's going to make his way out to the mound. And I think we're going to see Stumpf coming into this game. Pitching change has been made. So Luis Garcia, you wanted to see some good stuff out of him, and you saw that. Luis Garcia doing a nice job. 3 strikeouts in the 4 batters he faced. We have a pitching change here. (15-5) Phils with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Some changes for the Phils. We told you defensively. And there you see them. Darren Ruff is your new first baseman. Featherstone's over at second. Jackson at short. Now Nina at third. And also Logan Moore was part of that pitching change. He is now the new catcher in this game. As the warmer tosses for Stump for being finished up. There's Logan Moore. Saw him a little bit yesterday. Get another chance. We mentioned Carlos Ruiz, not with the team right now. He's back in his homeland of Panama. There you see Daniel Stump's numbers in 4 games for the Phils so far. 7 innings of work. So we have 1 out here in the top of the 6th. And Stump will go to work. First pitch to Jake Gobert is over for a strike. High and inside for a ball. It's 1-1.
Second half of spring training, this is where you start seeing managers manage the games like they would during the season. Stump bringing in he's coming in to face a left-hander right here.
Ground ball. Darren Ruff just into the game, says he'll take it himself. And that's out number 2. So far that move has worked for Pete Buchanan. With 2 outs, it'll bring up Cole Figueroa. Go for 2 is Figueroa. Grounded out to third base and first base so far in this game. First pitch from Stump is over for a strike. It's 0-1. That one catches the outside corner as well. 0-2 now quickly to Cole Figueroa.
So you know Larry Boa is going to be in the locker room afterwards in the coach's locker room, and he's going to be bragging that he's the new rally monkey / Larry Boa guy.
Rally Boa. That one's in the dirt. It's 1-2. You see El Torito right behind Larry. It's not even in the game and it's working. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball. Darren Ruff stays down on it, picks it clean, and another unassisted put out for Darren Ruff. And an easy inning of work for Daniel Stump. Pirates go down 1-2-3. The Phillies, we head to the bottom of the 6th, lead by 10. Well, Saturday, April 2nd at 1:05, it's the Phillies versus the Phillies Future. The Phillies Future Series Fathead, also free to all fans 14 and under. That game presented by PGW. You can see the top minor league prospects as they go head-to-head with the big league club. You can order your tickets now at Phillies.com. That should be a lot of fun on that Saturday. We get to the bottom of the 6th now. All kinds of changes for Pirates. We'll get to that in a second defensively. Peter Borges is the batter for the Phils. Homered in his last at bat, 2 for 3 on the afternoon. Swings through that one. It's 1-1 now to Borges. He hits that one. Right center field, drifting over is Rojas Jr. back of the track, and he makes the catch. Borges gave it a ride, but Rojas Jr. is there to make the catch. First out of the inning.
Jack, no, Jack, you're not hitting there.
And that'll bring up Tyler Goodell. Man, I wanted to get back to what Larry Boa had said back in the 4th inning when we had talked a little bit about wins and losses in spring training. I thought what he said was interesting, and I've heard that before. I wanted to get your thoughts on the idea that if you have a veteran team and you're down here in spring training, wins and losses don't mean anything. But when you have a young team, which the Phils do at this point, that one's over for a strike, it's important to get some wins and to watch these guys compete for jobs. You agree with that?
Absolutely. I think with veterans, because veterans work on more things in spring training. Hitters might think about hitting the ball to left center or hitting the ball to left field more compared to trying to pull the ball earlier in spring training. Pitchers are working. They're back. They're doubling up. They're tripling up on certain pitches, which I mentioned earlier. They might not even throw during the season. Now, the young guys need to go out and they need to compete. And by competing, they're going out and doing well. And them doing well means you're getting wins. Last thing you want to do is leave spring training and have a record of, whatever. A bad losing record. Mm-hmm. It just carries over to the locker room. The atmosphere kind of, the life gets sucked out a little bit. When you walk into spring training, you're excited. When you leave spring training, you're exhausted. First opening day, you're excited, and that's what you want to have. So a good winning season in spring training, it helps.
As Tyler Goodell goes down swinging there, that's the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Logan Moore. I agree. And, you talk about, and we've talked about this over the last couple of years, about getting off to a quick start and how important that is. And that's been a struggle for the Phils in recent years, getting off to a quick start in April. But again, with a team, a young team, when you get off to a quick start, that's, you start to believe a little bit. You start to gain that confidence. And in this sport, that is so important.
Well, what happens when you get off to a good start? You relax. You don't press too much. You get behind the 8 ball and you're starting to lose a little bit and you need to play catch-up baseball. Then you start expanding the strike zone a little bit. You start squeezing the bat a little bit harder. You start squeezing the baseball a little harder when you're pitching. And you start putting a little bit too much pressure on yourself. So getting off to a good start, having success early, helps you relax and have some fun.
Fuller is ahead of Logan Moore, 0-2 now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. The 0-2 pitch, check swing. He did not, so it's 1-2 now to Logan Moore. And Jackson waits on deck for the Phillies. Should Moore be able to keep this inning going? It's a little bit high for a ball, so it's 2-2 now to Logan Moore.
Come on, Logan.
Fuller has his sign. 2-2 pitch. Called, third strike on the outside corner, so Fuller gets the strikeout. 1-2-3 go the Phillies in the 6th inning, and well, that's saying something. They have a 10-run lead, 15-5. 7:05 at his Turkey Hills Kids opening night. The Kids pullover jacket is free to fans 14 and under. That's a cool giveaway. The Nationals are in town that weekend, April 15th through the 17th. Come on out, get your tickets at Phillies.com. And we head to the top of the 7th inning now. Daniel Stumpf still out on the mound for the Phils, who have a 10-run lead after exploding for 15 unanswered runs. 9 in the 4th, 6 in the 5th, batted around both times. It's a good offensive display for sure for the Phils. Well, Anton Richardson will be the batter for the Pirates. His first at bat in this game. Coming in, taking over center field duties. First pitch from Stumpf is on the inside corner for a strike. Gets a piece of the inside corner as well. It's 0-2.
Nice live arm. Looks like that 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Getting on the hitters a little quicker than they expect. A little different setup right there in his windup.
And gets him swinging through that one. That's the first strikeout of the inning. First strikeout for Stumpf. Good pitch down low, and he had him chasing.
Well, it's good location after fastball inside. A little breaking ball down the zone. Good put away pitch.
Bob McClure out there on the mound. And looks like we're going to have another pitching change. Jimmy Cordero coming into the ball game. I'll get a good look at him in just a minute. We're going to step aside. The Phils have a 10-run lead. Top of the 7th, 1 out, 15-5. Phillies over the Pirates right now. Pitching change. The new pitcher for the Phils is the right-hander Jimmy Cordero. You'll see his numbers in the minor leagues. And this is a guy that you talk about guys who get whispers and people talking about them on the backfields. And hey, have you seen Cordero? This is one of those guys that people are talking about. Part of the reason is because he throws really hard.
Came over from the Blue Jays in the Ben Revere trade.
Right. And he's a guy that, you think about a late inning kind of guy somewhere in the future. Kelson Brown is Pirates batter. Pitched in, line drive, back at second base, and what a catch. Right there by Featherston. Lays out for it, helps out his pitcher. Real nice play. Kind of like that if you were Jimmy Cordero, right?
Yeah, you do, and you also got to like it as a hitter. You square up a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. But very nice timing play.
Mm-hmm. So that's the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Mel Rojas Jr.
Cousins.
First pitch to Rojas Jr. is upstairs for balls 1-0. We talked to Larry Bow earlier in this game about the defense and how it's been improved this year. Plays like that, I always like to see. It's just outside for a ball, so it's 2-0 now to Rojas. Jimmy Cordero, just 24 years old, from the Dominican Republic. 2-0 pitch. It's fought off and fouled out of play. It's 2-1 now to Rojas.
Well, they said if Jimmy Cordero can remain healthy this whole spring training, the remainder of it, he's going to get a good look to see if he can go north with the team.
It sails inside for a ball, so it's 3-1 now to Mel Rojas Jr. Yeah, he's one of those guys that is exciting to watch. Every time he pitches, you're watching the gun. Creeps towards 100. And that was fouled.
Nice play.
Got a pretty good game down there. The count is full now to Mel Rojas Jr. 2 outs, top of the 7th. 3-2 pitch. That's a base hit back up the middle. Rojas able to turn on that one. 98 on the gun. Hits it back into center field for a base hit. And it's 2-out base runner for the Pirates. I'll bring up Jacob Stallings now. So Rojas Jr. leads off first. They're not holding him on. First pitch to Stallings is in the dirt. Ball 1. Darren Ruff not worrying at all about the base runner with a 10-run lead. 1-0 pitch. Well, outside for a ball. It's 2-0.
I still find it amazing in this game of the amount of guys that throw so hard out of the bullpen and how hitters consistently square the baseball up and make solid contact and have very good swings.
Like that one. Line drive. That one is going to find the gap in right center field. Goes all the way back to the wall. Rojas Jr. is being waved around, and he's going to score. The throw is up the line, and that is a stand-up double for Jacob Stallings. And an RBI as well.
That's the third consecutive good swing. This is a fastball. It's middle plate, just a very good swing. And the key is when you face a guy that's throwing 97, 98, 100, 110, whatever he's throwing, easy swing because he's generating the whole power. But it's amazing how it's just every day you're seeing guys coming out throwing that hard and getting hard because it's a fastball that's straight.
That one's in the dirt. Carlos Munoz is the batter for the Pirates. It's 1-0 to him.
Man, did I ever retire at a good time.
Something tells me you'd be able to turn on some of these guys.
If I cheated, and I don't mean cheated as to have to leave the zone early and start really, really early.
That one's in the dirt as well. So it's 2-0 now to Munoz.
Now you see what happens is that you had 3 consecutive hard hit balls. Now he has a problem in getting his off-speed pitches over for a strike. Now you're back in a hitter's count 2-0.
2-0 pitch. And that one's popped up. Left side of the infield. Nina is over there in foul territory. He makes the catch. And the Phillies retire the side. But the Pirates get a run in that inning. They cut the lead to 9 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. It's 15-6.
For the 7th down in Clearwater. At one point, the Phillies were trailing the Pirates 5-0, but they've stormed back to take a commanding 15-6 lead. Hi, everybody. I'm Derek Gunn in our Comcast Sportsnet studios, and here's what's coming your way when Rhea Hughes joins me for Quick Slants at 6 o'clock on Comcast Sportsnet. We will hear from Nolan Carroll on his recovery from a broken fibula and his place in Jim Schwartz's defense. That and many more topics coming up, but right now, let's send it back to Greg Murphy and Matt Stairs.
All right, thank you very much, Gunner. We got baseball today, college basketball, and always football. Quick Slants coming your way with Derek Gunn and Rhea Hughes. Always look forward to that. We've had some offense here at Bright House Field for the Phils. Both teams really putting together some good offensive numbers, but the Phils more than doubled up on the Pittsburgh Pirates. We'll try to do some more damage here in the bottom of the 7th. The new pitcher for the Pirates is Jorge Rondon, appearing in his 6th game for the Pirates, an ERA of 5.79. Ryan Jackson will be the first to face him.
Pittsburgh 6 runs on 6 hits. Philly 15 runs on 15 hits.
Jackson first pitch swing, pops it up on the right side. Ozuna over to near the crowd. He makes the catch. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Rondon. And Jackson has to head back to the dugout. That'll bring up Taylor Featherstone. Nice play down there by the first baseman, over there by the crowd. Featherstone, we saw flash a little leather in the top half of the inning. We'll see what he's done through 11 games. Steps in from the right side. First pitch is on the inside corner for a strike.
Another power arm coming out of the bullpen, throwing 96.
Yeah.
Speaking of power.
Nothing the Fanatic can't handle, though. He gets the crowd fired up. 1 pitch. Over for a strike. It's 0-2. 97. And Rondon.
At the knees.
Yeah. He is not deterred. The 0-2 pitch. And it's fouled back.
99.
He's climbing the ladder.
You just do not see the 90, 91 mile an hour sinker guys anymore. At least out of the bullpen.
Well, here's the 0-2 pitch. That one sails outside for a ball. It's 1-2. 99 again. You just hear it in the pop of the glove. How hard he's throwing.
Well, and if you watch pitchers after they react or after a ball comes out of their hand very nice and you feel like you threw that one really well, what do? The first thing they do is they look straight towards the scoreboard for the radar gun.
Well, it skips all the way past Stallings and back to the back wall. So it's 2-2 now to Taylor Featherstone. I like to see it too. The crowd likes to see it.
You do. And as a hitter, it helps. I think it's an advantage for hitters. You step in the batter's box and guy throws the pitch. There's no radar gun. You have no idea.
Yeah.
You know, who was it? Derek Jeter used to have a scout behind home plate that used to give him the sign of how hard it was.
Fouled past the third base bag.
So Derek Jeter every time would be on deck and he would be sitting there taking his practice swings. And he would look behind the home plate, and the guy would give him the little hand flashes of what the speed is.
That helps. We have a vacancy down the left field line in the chair that is normally occupied by the hitter's girl. The ball is sitting right next to the chair. It will remain there. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball, second base. That's the second out of the inning. So Featherstone is retired. And now they're going to go retrieve that baseball. And now she's back. There she is. Phillies spring training baseball is live with MLB.com's At Bat app. Stay connected all spring with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. You can download the MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet. So where were you? We missed you. Nina, first pitch swinging as well. That one's popped up down the right field line. And once again, Ozuna over there to make the catch in foul territory. Almost an identical out to the first one in the inning. So the Phils go quietly in the bottom of the 7th. It is 15-6. They lead by 9. Well, you want to know the latest on the Phillies? You can ask that guy. Or you can follow Phillies insider Jim Salisbury on Twitter. That's probably a smarter move. And on CSNPhilly.com. Jim always on the inside. Not that he's not a Philly fanatic. He is as well, but Jim's a good choice. He's doing his dugout dance as the Philly fanatic. You can see the act over and over and over again, Matt, but it makes you laugh every time. Severino Gonzalez is in the game for the Phillies. Seen him in 2 other games so far this spring. 3.60 ERA. So this was the act in between innings. How does one get to be the volunteer for that, I wonder?
Sit in the front row.
I guess. Glutton for punishment. Barrett Barnes is the batter for the Pirates. In the 8th, and he pops that one foul and out of play. Phillies fans will remember Severino Gonzalez from a year ago, getting a chance up in the big leagues with mixed success. He's come back into camp a little bit bigger and stronger. He looks, he appears to be anyway. And sails outside. It's 2-1 now to Barnes. Good pitch on the outside corner. It's 2-2. Working quickly, the 2-2 pitch, line drive, Featherstone once again. Going to pull that one down. 1 out here in the top of the 8th. They'll bring up Eric Wood.
Severino Gonzalez is bigger, he is stronger, and he's throwing a little harder. Last pitch, the line drive to second was 93. I think last year he lived right around 91, 90, 91. Topped out about 92.
The count is even right now, 1-1 to Eric Wood. And he swings and lines that one into the gap in left center field. That one is going to drop at the base of the wall. One hops off the wall, and Eric Wood will cruise in for a double. He was a base runner with 1 out here in the 8th. So Jose Osuna will be the batter now. He was busy in the field this last half inning, catching a couple of those pop foul balls over by the crowd. Now he's got a chance to do something offensively. Runner down there at second base is Wood. 12 home runs and 81 RBIs in the minors a year ago for Osuna. First pitch for him is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. A little bit inside and high for a ball. It's 2-0 now to Osuna. So Gonzalez got the first batter out on a line drive to second. And a double. Now he falls behind Jose Osuna. 2-0 pitch. And low. It's 3-0. Catches the outside corner. 3-1 now to Osuna.
Yeah, we got a chance last year to watch Gonzalez pitch some. I think he gets on the mound too quick. I think his pace is too quick. I think at times he needs to back off and slow it down a little bit, catch his breath and get some thought process of going back of the type of pitch he wants to make.
That one's going to sneak into center field for a base hit, so that'll be an RBI single for Osuna. As Wood comes around to score. It's 15-7 now, Phillies.
You know, we love the quick tempo and guys getting on the mound and stuff, but sometimes I think they work too quick.
Yeah, you know, so often we hear, you know, the complaints about a guy working too slowly, and it's almost as if he's thinking too much out there, and you know, and he's trying to guide the ball or whatever. And you like to see a guy kind of just get into an athletic pace and just kind of go about his business. Right. But I understand what you're saying. You know, certainly you can work too quickly as well. It's popped straight up and back over the screen, and it's off the top of the screen.
Oh, nice play.
It doesn't count, right? Logan Moore off with the mask and chasing that one, but hit off the top of the screen. So just a strike. It's 0-1.
And Diaz caught it at home plate. Yeah.
Osuna leads off first. There's 1 out. The 1 pitch to Diaz is inside and high for a ball. It's 1-1. Swings through that one. 1-2 now. It's Chris Diaz.
Better breaking ball, good location, good speed with an 80-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch.
1-2 pitch, line drive, left field. That's going to fall in for a hit. Osuna rounds second. He never hesitated. He's going to go. The throw comes into second, and not in time. Chris Diaz just gets his foot in at second base. Smart play by Goodell out there to get the throw into second base. To try and record that out, but not in time. Good strong throw. So runners at second and third now with 1 out.
It was. This is something I've been waiting to see. His type of arm, very accurate. Gets up.
Ooh. Oh, did he miss the tag?
Yeah, he tagged. He slid inside. Yep. Towards home plate.
That was a good strong throw. Nonetheless, second and third, Antone Richardson will be the batter for the Pirates. So Severino Gonzalez looking to get out of a little bit of trouble. He finds the inside corner there. It's 0-1. Runners lead off second and third. And the pitch swung on him. Driven deep to right center field, and that ball is off the base of the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Richardson cruising into third. The slide, the throw, not in time, and that's a triple, a 2-run triple for Antone Richardson. These outfielders are playing very shallow. No chance to get to that one as it one-hopped the wall. 2 more runs are across, and now it's 15-9. Phillies.
Well, we're seeing a nice display of hitting today on both sides. Nice swing fastball up in the zone. Like I said, the outfielders were playing a little shallower. Uncatchable ball, really nice relay right there. Most guys you're going to have another third base, but showing some very good speed right there.
So Kelson Brown is the batter now, and sails outside for a ball. 1-0. Still just 1 out here in the 8th. And it's slicing foul, out of play. 1-1 now to Kelson Brown. Infield back for the Phillies. Just trying to get the out here. And it's inside. That hit him. Right off the forearm. So Brown heads down to first. And now runners at the corners. Logan Moore is going to have a conversation with Severino Gonzalez. And Mel Rojas Jr. will be the batter. Looking from the left side. Conversation at the mound is over. Logan Moore sets the defense for the Phillies. Runners on the corners. First pitch is outside for a ball. It's 1-0.
Oh, a changeup.
On the outside corner.
Just, he's been living right around 91, 94. He's on the fastball slider. He needs something where the hitter's routing out in front to get a weak ground ball to second base or to Darren at first.
That one's over for a strike as well. It's 1-2 now to Mel Rojas Jr. Stallings waits on deck. There's Hinojosa warming up in the pen. One-two pitch. On the outside corner called. Third strike. Good pitch by Severino Gonzalez. And a big strikeout and a big moment right there for him. Second out of the inning here in the 8th.
A good location, 91-mile-an-hour heater. Just a little off the plate, but a very good place and good location and good frame.
So that'll bring up Stallings. He doubled in his only at bat in this game. There's 2 outs. Gonzalez's first pitch is a little bit high for a ball.
Get under 72.
1-0 pitch. Over for a strike. It's 1-1. Three runs across in the top of the 8th so far for the Pirates. They've got runners at the corners with 2 outs. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball, second base. And that's the third out of the inning. Over to Darren Ruff to complete it. And Severino Gonzalez gets out of any more trouble. But the Pirates do score 3. And we're ahead to the bottom of the 8th. The Phillies still lead it 15-9. Bottom of the 8th. Phillies lead it 15-9. They scored all 15 of their runs in 2 innings. Not a good day for the Buccos in terms of pitching, but well, how about the last 3 seasons though? It's been pretty good. Turning the corners, that's a great way to describe it. For so long, they were a team under 500, and then they were able to guide themselves into the postseason. And you see what they were able to do there. Haven't had success in the postseason yet, but so many times, that's something to build on as Darren Ruff swings through that one. It's 0-1 to him, but what a job Clint Hurdle has done. And the Pirates should be back in the mix again. They play in such a tough division. You've got the Cardinals in that division. You've got the Cubs, who everybody thinks is going to, really, it's going to be their year again after another terrific year last year. And so it remains to be seen. But the Pirates, they certainly have the talent to be part of the mix.
Right, and you said they've been to the playoffs the last few years. No success yet. At least they have an opportunity to go.
Yeah.
Jake Arrieta they got last year. They drew this nice draw in the wild card game you got there.
And if I'm not mistaken, the year before they got, was it Madison Bumgarner that they got in the game, the wild card game the year before. So in back-to-back years, 2 of the hottest pitchers in baseball for, winner-take-all kind of thing. But at least, as you said, they're getting a chance to get there, and that guy has a lot to do with it. Darren Ruff fouls that one straight back. You look at the division. I mean, you have 98 wins. That was the second best win total in all of baseball, and you finished second in your division. Any other division in baseball, they would have been a division winner. Cardinals with 100 wins a year ago.
Cubs 97.
97 wins. You feel bad for the Reds? No. 1-2 pitch to Ruff. Swung on and driven to right center field. One back on it is center fielder Anton Richardson, and he's able to pull it in. So Darren Ruff gave it a ride, but just a little short. And speaking of the Reds, that will be the first opponent for the Fightin' Phils this year, 2016. Opening day in Cincinnati. Phillies. It'll be a lot of fun.
Cincinnati going through some changes as well.
Yeah.
Going younger.
Darnell Sweeney getting a chance to bat in this game for the first time. He fouls that one off. So it's 0-1 to Darnell Sweeney. There's no reason to believe that division will not be equally good this year. I think the Cardinals have lost a whole lot. And certainly we talked about the Cubs. And swing and a miss. They did a good job beating up on everybody else in the National League and in interleague play. Get those win totals in that division. Rendon from the stretch, the 0-2 pitch outside, 1-2. Take the punter on deck. One-two pitch. Off the end of the bat, looped into left center field. The center fielder Richardson there to make the catch. Second out of the inning. That'll bring up Hunter. You see some of the new faces added for 2016 for the Pirates. Denise coming over from the Mets. And Vogelsong as well.
Neil Walker and Pedro Alvarez, losing those two guys. I mean, Neil Walker, very solid second baseman, good power. Alvarez.
One hopper to the shortstop. That's the third out of the inning. Yeah, some good talent, but the Pirates are very happy with what they have in the minor leagues as well. Some of the guys that are coming up, they think they can contribute. So, we're turning the page, but it'll be interesting to see. We'll be right back. Pirates. And don't forget, Monday, April 11th at 3:05, it's Nemours opening day. Phillies commemorative opening day caps free to all fans who come into the ballpark. The Padres will be in town. You can order your tickets now at Phillies.com. And as we head to the top of the ninth, we're going to welcome in another guest whose day is done. Cameron Rupp was part of the offensive explosion for the Phils today. And Cam, thanks for joining us. I guess Matt at one point said hitting is contagious because in that short span of time, you guys did some damage.
Yeah, we did. It was a good couple innings for us. They left some pitches out over the plate, and we took advantage of it.
We were talking to Larry Boa earlier in this game. We were talking about you and the job that you've done so far through the spring. Where do you feel like you stand right now in terms of getting ready for the big league season? Are you getting close?
Yeah, I'm getting ready. Just working and trying to get better every day. We're having fun out here. We're getting a lot of work in, and it's helping us get ready to prepare for the season.
And Cameron, nice job today, by the way. 3 knocks, the bomb to left field. I thought you were going to have 2 today. He hit one off the end of the bat, one to center field. But let's talk about Charlie Morton a little bit. Didn't have the great command, but it seemed like he had a lot of movement on his fastball, and his velocity was very good today.
Yeah, he wasn't necessarily in the zone a lot the first couple innings, but the last 2 innings he really bared down, got his stuff under control, and he adjusted with the movement and kept it in the strike zone. And even the home run that Joyce hit, it was a good pitch, and just the wind helped it a little bit, and he got right back in the zone and didn't let that affect him.
Carlos Munoz turns on that one. Cedric Hunter drifts back and makes the catch for the first out here in the top of the ninth. Cameron, did you see you were talking offensive explosion? Did you see your buddy Carlos Ruiz last night?
Yeah, I heard Chooch hit a couple home runs for his hometown country. That was good for him. Happy for him to be out there and being able to play for his country.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, talk a little bit about this team, because one other thing that Larry spoke about today earlier in this game is we're talking about wins and losses in spring training. They may not always be the most important thing, but for a team that's made up like this team, a young team, guys battling for positions and almost all the way across the diamond, wins in spring training can be important. Where do you stand on that?
Absolutely. Winning's it's just like Matt said. It's contagious. It's making it a habit, learning how to win. We've come from behind in a few games, just like we were down 5-0 in this game, and we come back and put 15 runs up. You learn how to win. You learn how to play the game when you're against the wall, and I think we're doing that. We got a lot of young guys. There's a lot of energy. We're looking at the glasses half full. When something's going wrong, we can't hang our hat up. We got another opportunity. We got another chance to get out here and redeem ourselves.
Well, and Cameron saying that with a lot of energy and a lot of young players, do you feel the mood is a little different in the locker room, as in, yeah, you are playing good baseball and you're kind of getting a little swagger, a little bit, like knowing that you guys are playing well and you guys can contend? Yeah,
absolutely. It just, winning makes everything a lot better. For 3 days and you win a game, you're still in a good mood. It's tough on yourself, but at the same time, you're still in a good mood, and you come to the ballpark the next day with a little bit more energy, wanting to get better and go out and win another game.
Well, you guys certainly did it with the bats today. You got some good pitching as well early on, so a complete team effort. That's exactly what you're looking for here in the spring. Can't we? Thanks for joining us. We're going to let you go as Dalier Hinojosa is on the hill and runner on first. We're thinking maybe a double play. Cam, thanks for being with us.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Cam.
Hinojosa delivering to Eric Wood, and 1 out in this one. I think he's right. You talked about the energy level. You can feel it. Oh, it's a real thing surrounding this team right now. The way they're going out with the energy, and I really, it's easy to say, but it all really starts with Pete McCann and the way that he gets the morning started here down in spring training, and the energy that he brings on a daily basis, the sense of humor that he brings on a daily basis, the looseness. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of early in the spring so far.
Well, and I think it carries from with Pete right into his coaching staff. His coaching staff is having fun. They're very outgoing. They're all having a good time. And they're kind of making it a game of it. We talked about the 50-cent fine. We've talked about when they make a mistake, tomorrow morning they'll be out doing the base running and not allowing it to happen again. And that's the fun part. Is it punishment? Yes, but is it fun punishment?
Yeah.
It really is. I watched guys today running That's what spring training is for. You do not want to have these mistakes in the season when it comes around. Have fun with it, keep it loose, and enjoy it, and no one's complaining about it.
The count is full right now to Eric Wood. They're down at first base. As Barnes, he takes his lead off first. And here's the 3-2 pitch from Hinojosa. That's fouled back and out of play.
I like how Cameron said that the Pirates pitchers left some balls over the plate. They left a lot out over the plate.
He was being kind.
He was being very nice.
He was being kind. Hinojosa from the stretch will do it again. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. Couldn't handle it and throw it to first, not in time either. So Jackson was thinking of flipping it to Featherstone over there at second, but he couldn't handle the play. Then too late to make the play over at first. So everybody's safe. Runners at first and second now with one out. There'll be an error on Jackson.
I thought at first it just seemed like it kind of got caught in his glove when he tried to make the exchange.
Yeah.
By the time he got it out and picked it up, he never had time at first base.
To Barnes' credit, he was busting it down there to second base, and I think he made Jackson have to think about hurrying that toss over to second. So Hinojosa will go to work against Jose Osuna. First pitch is over for a strike. One pitch, swings through it, 0-2. We didn't have a chance to ask him about, I wanted to ask him, this time last year, we were just starting to talk about Cameron Rupp being on, the opening day roster and how different camp must be for him this year coming in as, no one's got a lock on a job, but certainly a front runner to be one of the catchers as the team heads north. That one was drilled. Left field, Goodell going back, but he just turns his back, and that one is gone. A 3-run shot from Jose Osuna. That's going to make things a little bit more interesting. It's 15-12 now. Pirates still down by 3. Osuna got all of that one. Take another look.
Well, location, middle of the plate, and like we've seen all day long, when the pitchers are making mistakes, hitters on both sides are making them pay.
Yeah, that was
crushed.
The wind's not. Yeah, I was going to say the wind's not howling today. It's not like these are wind blown. These are balls that have been hit pretty good. Only 1 or 2 of them squeaked over. Chris Diaz is the batter now. Hinojosa getting a fresh slate with 1 out here in the top of the 9th.
27 runs on 27 hits. Making them count.
Swing, that's called strike. 1-1. 0-2 now to Chris Diaz. 12 runs on 12 hits for the Pirates. 15 runs on 15 hits for the Phillies. One's in the dirt. 1-2.
Well, you're talking about asking Cameron how he feels going into spring training, and by no means am I going to answer it for him. Pretty good chance he's going to stay relaxed. Not put any pressure on himself.
And he should be,
Absolutely.
He got a lot of quality playing time in 2015. Did some good stuff. 9 home runs a year ago for Cameron.
He's had a very good spring, hitting 500, 3 home runs.
The 1-2 pitch. That one's poked down the right field line, but slicing foul. So we'll do it again. You talk about wins and losses. We've talked about that. But I think one of the things that you can kind of look at and hang your hat on if you're the Phillies and if you're a Phillies fan, that the guys that are doing the damage down here in Clearwater, down here at spring training, are the guys that you expect will be part of your big league club going forward. It's not like this kind of stuff is being produced in the 8th and 9th inning with guys that most likely won't be on the roster. Swing and off the plate. It's foul. It's 1-2 still.
Well, and that's a great point, Murphy. That's where you're happy with your middle of your lineup is driving the ball to the ballpark. Your topper lineup. Cesar Hernandez is doing a nice job getting on base.
Peter Borges getting on base.
Exactly. Hit the home run earlier. His first of the spring training. You know, Michael Franco, who's unbelievable. He's driving in the runs. Those are the guys that you're looking for during the season.
Right.
To be those big hitters in the middle of the lineup.
Yeah, popped up in the infield. Who wants it? Everyone converging at the pitcher's mound. Taylor Featherstone comes out victorious as he catches that one. Everyone wanted a piece of that one. Second out of the inning here in the 9th. Yeah, you know, Ryan Howard, we talked about what he's done over the last couple of days. Darren Ruff has played very well down here in spring. You mentioned Maikel Franco, Cameron Rupp as well. So, I mean, you're talking about the middle of your order right there. When the season begins for real, if those guys can translate, you know, bring it with them into the regular season, it's certainly going to be fun to watch. Well, Anton Richardson will try to keep it alive for the Pirates. Here in the top of the 9th with 2 outs. Phils lead at 15-12. He had that 2-run triple back in the 8th, did Richardson. And that one's a ground ball, and that's going to be another chance for Featherstone. Throws over to first, and that is the final out of the ball game. So, Pirates make a run late in this game, scoring 1 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th, and 3 in the 9th. But it was not enough because the Phils really did the damage in the middle of the game, scoring 15 runs in 2 innings, batting around both of those innings. And that put